Chapter 1191. Deep within the dark waters of the Pinnacle Realm, two towering figures were madly fighting. The Master of Security and Yong held a golden scepter in his hand. Sometimes he would use it as a staff, and sometimes he would use it as a heavy hammer. Regardless of whether he used it as a staff or a heavy hammer, the secret technique he used was always the strongest secret technique he had. And every time they clashed, Master of Yong didn't even block Flint Lord's attacks. It was a complete exchange of blows. Madman. Everyone from the First Universe era is a madman. Master of Yong is a madman among madmen. Flint Lord roared in pain and anger. He tried his best to dodge as far away as possible. Every time they clashed, the longer the better. That way, he would be able to stall for more time. However, in this ice and sand sea, his speed was clearly much slower. He was also at an absolute disadvantage. Naturally, Master of Yong caught up to him time and time again. Primeval Universe Human Alliance Flint, fall in peace. Become my sacrifice on the path to eternity. Master of Yong's voice was gentle. However, that scepter seemed to have pierced through the universe. Hong Long Long, the golden scepter struck out. The scepter's head was shaped like an ellipse, and the tip of the ellipse was like the mouth of a gourd. Selah, the scepter whistled over. Space and time twisted as it easily dodged Flint Lord's roaring long spear. The tip of the scepter directly smashed into Flint Lord's chest. Without being blocked by any treasures or weapons, the full power of Lord of Yong's attack landed on Flint Lord's chest. Crack, crack, his armor shook, and Flint Lord's chest shook violently. Cracks appeared on his divine body, and at the same time, he flew backward without any resistance. Of course, before he flew backwards, his long spear also smashed into Master of Yong's body. Pung! This strike created an incomparably low sound. Master of Yong suffered this strike. His divine body's strength was immediately affected. However, it quickly recovered. He only paused for a moment before continuing his attack. Madman. Super Madman. Why did I meet him? Even if I met the other powerhouses of the universe's first era, I wouldn't be so miserable. As the Flintstone Lord was sent flying, his heart was filled with hatred. In terms of strength, the Flintstone Lord, was also at the peak of the masters of the universe. He was an existence comparable to the Flare Emperor. The Master of Yong used a better treasure, and his divine body was slightly stronger, so his overall strength was only one level higher than the Master of Flintstone. The Flintstone Lord was at the pinnacle level. The Lord of Peace and Yong was at the pinnacle level, comparable to the peak of ice. Logically speaking, a difference of one level should not be enough to threaten one's life. However, the Master of Safety in Yong's fighting style was to exchange injury for injury, purely relying on the rapid consumption of his divine body. Even a powerhouse of the same level as him would have a headache, let alone the Flintstone Master who was a level lower than him. Back when Luo Feng fought against the Star River Emperor, the Star River Lord's strongest move, the River in the Night, Luo Feng used the Star Pagoda to block it, but it still took a toll on his body. If he didn't have the Star Pagoda to block first, and instead traded injury for injury, Luo Feng's body would probably be destroyed in one move. Exchanging injury for injury wasn't something he could do just because he wanted to. If Flintstone Master's huge axe was extremely strong, and he could block the scepter time and time again, naturally the Master of Safety and Yong wouldn't be able to exchange injury for injury. However, the reality was that the Master of Safety and Yong had the advantage in terms of techniques. Using his strongest techniques in turns, sometimes as a hammer, sometimes as a rod, sometimes as a spear, it was unpredictable and every move was terrifying, causing Flintstone Master to be unable to block most of them, daring to exchange injury for injury. He still had to have enough confidence in his defense and body. After all, while he was attacking the opponent was attacking him too. If his body was too weak, not only would he not be able to exhaust the opponent to death, he would instead exhaust himself to death. That would be a joke. Flintstone, I don't dare recklessly enter the area covered by the ice-sand ocean. I can't help you either. You can only rely on yourself. A voice resounded through the water. Swan and I, leader. Flintstone Master was first delighted, but soon disappointed. It was useless. The Swan and I leader's strength was similar to his. Just the area covered by the ice-sand ocean was a few light years away from teleportation. Just flying alone would take a long time. There was no way to save him. Even if he could fly here, the Swan and I leader's strength was not enough. No one can save you. You have less than 50% of your divine body left. Probably another 10 moves will be enough to kill you. The Master of Safety and Young wielded a scepter and instantly arrived with a smile. Damn it, isn't he just relying on his armor and his divine body clone? Flintstone Master roared in his heart. The reason why he had fled earlier was because he knew the Master of Safety in Yang's fighting style. The Master of Safety in Yang's armor was a top-grade peak-grade armor. It was said that it could weaken an attack by 1 in 100,000. The genetic level of Yang's divine body was nearly 10,000 times higher. Yang carried a clone with him. It was a plant life form with a massive divine body that was millions of kilometers long. Even if he was exchanging injury for injury, with the plant life form's massive clone constantly replenishing him, he could still use this move with great ease. My divine body is also a special life form divine body, and it is also 100,000 kilometers tall. If I were to block it with a weapon, it would probably take him a very long time to exhaust me to death. Exchanging injury for injury. The rate of consumption of the divine body is clearly 100 or 1,000 times faster. No matter how hard Flintstone Master fought, he was still hit by the hammer. Rumble, his divine body was weakening 42%, 37%, 31%. Be willing to die? The Master of Safety in Young smiled. No. Flintstone Master tried everything, be it dodging or using his weapon to block, but it was useless. The Master of Safety in Yang's techniques could instantly change. It was unpredictable and unpredictable, making it hard for him to defend. The Swan and I Master was in the shallow water region. Looking at the endless ice-sand ocean, he could only sigh. Flintstone, other than Pungong Leader and the Primal Chaos City Leader who can rush over to save you. No one else can help you. Rumble. A silhouette appeared beside him. Swan and I Master. A familiar voice resounded. The Swan and I Master's huge head turned fiercely. A silhouette appeared beside him. It was the silver-armored black-haired human. Luo Feng. The Swan and I Master was disappointed, communicating mentally, Luo Feng. Right now, Flintstone Master is being chased by the Young Master. Unless Pungong Leader and the Primal Chaos City Leader appear, we have no other way. Don't rush into. The moment you enter the ice-sand ocean, you'll be in danger too. I may not be able to defeat the Young Master, but I'm not afraid of him. The black-haired human said directly. The Swan and I Master was shocked. Following closely, a hazy and boundless golden light instantly appeared in the boundless domain of water. Along with the appearance of this boundless golden light, a rumble could be heard as violent golden flames surged out. With the support of the Golden Kingdom, the surging golden flames destroyed the sea of ice and sand as easily as breaking dry weeds and smashing rotten wood. Wu's slaying wings, Fire Sand Cup, the two stacked together. Despair. Flintstone Master was truly in despair. His divine body was already depleted to 20%. His resistance was much weaker. Fall. The Young Master continued smiling as he walked forward. Suddenly, the Young Master's expression changed greatly. Who is it? The Young Master roared furiously. Rumble, as if the heavens were falling and the earth was shattering. The sea of ice and sand that trapped the Flintstone Lord like a swamp, causing the Flintstone Lord's movement speed to be ridiculously slow, instantly crumbled. The surrounding boundless water instantly turned into a sea of fire. Under the endless flames, the Flintstone Lord immediately revealed an excited expression. Flintstone Master, why aren't you leaving? A voice resounded in his ears. This voice. The Flintstone Master was stunned. That familiar voice, wasn't that the human he scolded, Luo Feng? Why aren't you leaving? Quickly. the voice urged. So, the Flintstone master immediately fled for his life. This escape made him feel incomparably carefree. Before, in the ice-sand ocean, it was like he was stuck in a swamp. However, now, the endless golden flames didn't obstruct him at all, instead constantly helping him, pushing him from behind, causing his speed to rise rapidly. And young master's fate was the exact opposite. His speed decreased. Who is it? And young master raged. This is your primal universe's Yuan Ao Lord's flaming sand cup. That golden domain can actually control time and space. Just who are you? His god energy was clearly stronger than Luo Feng's, yet he was still at a disadvantage. This was because treasures, secret techniques, and so on had different requirements for divine power. Treasures and techniques all had a minimum requirement and a maximum limit. Just like the miniature universe, Luo Feng had only reached the minimum requirement back when he was at the undying level, and it consumed at least 10% of his god body. That was the minimum requirement. However, as Luo Feng's strength continued to rise, he would get closer and closer to the maximum limit. If Luo Feng became a universe lord, his god body would rise by 100 times. Then just his strongest technique, miniature universe, wouldn't be able to consume 10% of his god body at once. Like those universe lords who used their strongest techniques over and over again, the consumption was limited too. Ultimate secret techniques and strongest secret techniques naturally consumed different amounts of divine power. Treasures were the same. Only when one's strength reached a certain threshold could they be used. The higher one's strength, the stronger the treasure's power. However, there was a limit to the treasure's power. Hence, normal treasures were abandoned by the universe lords. They were more interested in the pinnacle treasures or even the strongest treasures. Top treasures. Pinnacle treasures. Ultimate treasures. If I had a pinnacle treasure, I wouldn't have let you escape. And young Emperor was incomparably furious, simultaneously releasing the space lock. Hua! In the distance, Flint Emperor was overjoyed, immediately teleporting to the shallow water region. I want to see just who it is. And young Emperor relied on his space senses. Naturally, he could feel that Flint Emperor had only teleported a few light years away. Hence, he too teleported over. Luo Feng and Swan Emperor were both in the water region. Beside them, Flint Emperor appeared out of thin air. Flint Emperor saw Luo Feng and immediately felt awkward. Luo will talk later. Luo Feng's expression changed. Not far away, another figure had appeared, a humanoid figure wielding a scepter. His entire body glowed with a hazy white light, and behind his head were circles of white light, within which was the shadow of a single eye. It was the Lord of Peace and Yong. And young Emperor's eyes were filled with rage, staring at Luo Feng, who had spread his wings. Human? I've never seen you before. And young Emperor raged. You'll know me in the future. Luo Feng glanced at an young Emperor. Shua! Luo Feng and the other two immediately teleported. This time they teleported out of the water region, fleeing far away. Human! Silver-winged, black-haired human. And young Emperor madly let out a sharp roar. His roar was filled with rage. P.S. Chapter 1. The holidays are over. The updates are back to normal. Asterisk. To be continued. If you like this work, please come Achidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1192. The Master of Nyong stood in the shallow waters, the one-eyed figure in the halo of light behind his head, looking incredibly ferocious. Silver-winged, black-haired human. Since he's here to save the Master of Flint and is with the Master of Taowu, it seems like he's also a human from the primeval universe. The Master of Nyong pondered. The three great eras of the universe had given birth to the human race, and in the first and third eras, the human race was ranked as the peak race. Only in the era of the second universe, the human race was considered a weaker force, and only one of the strongest beings in the universe was born. Perhaps in the primeval universe, a race with the strongest expert in the universe could be called a peak race. However, in the eras of the first and second universes that had gone through a complete cycle of reincarnation, the number of the strongest experts in their universes was much higher. Hence, the humans of the Second Universe era and Luo Feng's primal universe were similar in strength. However, they weren't considered the pinnacle races of the Second Universe era. I've never seen him, and in the database that my Holy-Eyed clan has collected, there is no such expert. The Master of Safety and Yong pondered. This should be a newly emerged expert. What's more, he's using the Flame Sand Cup of Lord Yuan Arcana. The last time the Lord Yuan Arcana appeared, he used the Flame Sand Cup. Clearly, he hasn't had it for long. Could it be that Lord Yuan Ao is dead? Otherwise, why would the flaming sand goblet fall into the hands of this human? Lord Yang's heart was filled with many doubts. In the first era of the cosmos, the Holy-Eyed race had 7 of the strongest experts in the cosmos. Naturally, they also had 7 small cosmos within one of the small-scale cosmoses. 7th, True Lord. The incarnation of the Master of Yong walked out of the beautiful, translucent palace that was emitting white light and looked up at the sky. Has the human race of the primeval universe given birth to a new master of the universe? I was just about to kill the Flintstone Master, but I was stopped by a silver-winged, black-haired man. I want to know his information. Stop me? Is he stronger than you? A voice came from the sky. No, of course he is far inferior to me. Lord Yang's avatar looked up and said, however, he has the Flaming Sand Cup and a special treasure that can control space-time, so he is able to suppress my Ice Sand Sea. Moreover, he, the Master of Taowu, and the Master of Flint were all there. I had to deal with 3 of them at the same time. Even if I were to continue fighting, it would be difficult to determine the victor, so I didn't chase after them. Before, when the Yong Emperor teleported over, he discovered Luo Feng and the other 2. If he was confident, the Master of Yong would immediately cast a spatial seal and continue to tangle with them. However, he was clear that the other party was suppressing him in terms of domain. If he wanted to escape, he could. Secondly, there were 3 of them. Hence he watched as Luo Feng and the others left. Wait a moment, I'll contact them and investigate. A voice came from the sky. Thank you, Lord 7th True. The Lord of Yang's incarnation bowed gratefully. Moments later, actually, there were close to 100 forces in the cosmic sea. Some of them were killing each other, while others were secretly trading with each other. For example, exchanging treasures, exchanging information, etc. As long as there were benefits, there would naturally be all kinds of transactions. As for the Holy-Eyed clan in the era of the First Universe, as a super strong force, there were indeed many who tried to curry favor with the Holy-Eyed clan. I've already found him. A voice rang out from the sky. The Lord of Peace and Yong immediately looked up. Silver wings and black hair. You've never seen them before. That should be the new universe lord of the primal universe humans, Milky Way leader Luo Feng. The voice in the sky said, his strength is average, and his material attacks are only on par with the Lord of Banfu. The only strongest secret art I know is something like a miniature chaos world. A new punk? The Lord of Yong laughed. Banfu Lord specializes in soul attacks, but his material attacks are very weak. Looks like this punk is very weak. There are 6 levels of universe lords. He should be at the 2nd level. The voice in the sky said, looks like his treasures are special, and the humans gave him precious treasures to protect himself and escape. The Lord of Yong laughed. A punk that was only good at escaping was weak in close combat. There was nothing to fear. Just the 2nd level. In the First Universe era, the Universe Lord's strength was divided into 6 levels. The first level was when one had just entered the Universe Lord level. Their life force genetic level was 100 times. They hadn't even created their ultimate techniques, and their treasures were average too. The 2nd level was when their life force genetic level was 1,000 times. They had created their ultimate techniques, and their treasures weren't bad. It was the normal level. The 3rd level was the pinnacle, like the Flaming Emperor, Flintstone Emperor, etc. The 4th level was the pinnacle, like the Ice Peak leader, the Yong leader, or the Star River leader who didn't use his ultimate techniques. The 5th level was the pinnacle of the pinnacle, the level of the Star River leader and Primal Chaos City leader. Normally, They either created their strongest techniques or acquired treasures, etc. The sixth level, in the primal universe, there wasn't such a division. This sixth level referred to the universe lords that had the strongest treasures. Just a second-level punk. The young leader laughed. The young leader's strength was at the fourth level. However, he had the plant life god body. His life force genetic level was close to 10,000 times, and his armor could weaken attacks to 1/100,000 th. Even Luo Feng would have to become a universe lord before he could match up to him. If he relied on exchanging blows, the Ice Peak leader and the others could only dodge. Pinnacle domain treasures are simply too rare. Our holy-eyed race has close to 100 universe lords, and the pinnacle domain treasures have long been taken by the strongest. If I can get one, human Milky Way leader, you're dead. The young leader anticipated. The holy-eyed race was after all the strongest of the first universe era's pinnacle races. The strongest of the 7 universes. Close to 100 universe lords. All of them had lived for an incredibly long time. And young leader, amongst the close to 100 universe lords of the holy-eyed race, could only be considered average. Wait and see, human Milky Way leader. This is the first time we've met. In the future, we'll have plenty of chances to spar. In space outside the pinnacle world region, on a celestial mountain rock, 3 majestic silhouettes stood there. Flint leader, there's no need. Luo Feng said. My life was saved by you. This is the greatest favor. Flint leader raised his head. My promise before was only to repay you. You don't have to be humble. In the future, if you need anything, just inform me. No matter what I'm doing, I'll immediately rush over. Even if I have to risk my life, I won't retreat. Luo Feng laughed involuntarily. Flint leader's personality was just like that. Stubborn. Incomparably stubborn. If he wanted to scold, he'd scold no matter how high his accomplishments were in the future. The moment he made a promise, he wouldn't turn back even if he had to go through fire and water. Flint leader, you can't handle this danger? Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. He was very curious. Of being able to survive in the cosmic sea for so long, he should have some life-saving methods. Even if I meet the strongest warrior of the universe, as long as he doesn't have an ultimate treasure to attack me, I can withstand it for a long time. First, I use my ultimate treasures to block. Normally, I can weaken 90% of the power. Then, when it hits my armor, the threat is very small. The Flintstone master sighed. Unfortunately, this master of safety in Yang's battle style just happens to counter me. He is unpredictable and can easily change his moves, but I charge forward bravely and am not good at blocking. He even wants to trade blows with me. Actually, my god body is very strong too, 100,000 kilometers long. I'm not afraid of exchanging blows. However, in young leaders' attacks are even stronger than mine. Knowing a few ultimate techniques and being able to instantly change moves, such unpredictable moves, there aren't many to begin with. To be able to make me unable to block them is even rarer, and to have a god body that's even stronger than mine, that's even rarer. Flint leader said, in the entire cosmic sea, there are only a few. Usually, the moment I discover them, I don't even need to run. I didn't expect to lose this time. Luo Feng nodded. Right? Knowing a few ultimate techniques and being good at changing moves, his attacks were known for their speed, and his body's defense was even stronger than Flint leader's. Everything matched. It was indeed rare. I've decided to lose this time too. Flint leader said, my god body has taken a lot of damage this time. It'll take a long time to recover. During this period of recuperation, I'll properly study my shield defense. I'm a Flint special life form, naturally not agile enough. It's better to create a shield technique with a shield in one hand and a spear in the other. It'll be much safer. You should have done this earlier, Swan and leader said. Luo Feng nodded. Different life forms had different battle styles. Yuan Ao Lord was like that. His body was huge. His agility wasn't enough. Hence he too used a shield. Of course, like humans, they were naturally agile. Luo Feng's blade was naturally able to swiftly block. Those huge rock life forms were much weaker in this aspect. I was too overconfident. Luo Feng, Flint, will never forget your kindness. Just tell me if you need anything. Flint leader's voice rumbled. Then I'll first return to the primal universe. The next time I come, I'll bring a shield. I won't send you off. Luo Feng smiled. The Flintstone Master spoke to the Tao Master and left with a teleportation. Even though my armor's defense is 10 times stronger than Flint leader's, his god energy is 10 times stronger than mine. Combining the two, his defense is indeed stronger than mine. In terms of body, it's also slightly bigger than mine. Luo Feng exclaimed within. Luckily, he was more agile. Even if he met Young leader, he could still block. And with his killing of Wu Yu and the blazing sand cup, he could fight and flee whenever he wanted. I have to train myself. Right now, my weakness is my attack techniques, and they're only the ultimate techniques. Luo Feng thought. Like Flint leader, Swan and leader, these pinnacles have already created their strongest techniques. The master of Yong even created several sets of the strongest secret arts. After which, Luo Feng and Swan and leader separated and once again roamed the outer regions of Qingfeng world. Time passed. While Luo Feng was roaming the Qingfeng world, he would occasionally meet some alien race warriors from before the Great Apocalypse. However, with his killing of Wu Yu and the blazing sand cup, he didn't really meet with any danger. After all, the pinnacle of the universe lords and the strongest warriors of the universe all entered the inner regions of Qingfeng world. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. The primal universe human Luo Feng's name slowly spread throughout the other 2 universe eras. They too knew that this human Luo Feng's strength may be average, but he was hard to deal with. P.S. 2 chapters completed. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1193. In the blink of an eye, it was already Luo Feng's 16th year in the Universe C. Deep within the water region of Qingfeng. I've been in Qingfeng world for 16 years, and I haven't even seen a single treasure. Luo Feng leaned on the rock behind him and looked at the white water spirits 10 million kilometers away. Beams of white flowed about within, some in white human form, some in white beast form. The water spirits of all shapes and sizes were purely attracted to each other, playing with each other and occasionally letting out ear-piercing screams, wantonly floating about in the depths of the water region. The celestial mountain rocks within the water region were also incomparably huge. Actually, every celestial mountain rock was like a majestic mountain range. A depression was a huge canyon. A protrusion was a huge mountain peak. Its flat surface was a vast plain. At least to Luo Feng, who maintained his body at over 1,000 kilometers, it was like that. However, after these 16 years of over 100 exchanges, my beast god path has improved a lot. Luo Feng was satisfied. These 100 exchanges were all against the warriors of the First Universe Era and Second Universe Era. Because the primeval universe, Universe 3 Era, was very weak, the experts of the primeval universe's 9 great powers, 12 great powers, and many others, whether in the primeval universe or in the cosmic sea, unless there were treasures to attract them, they would rarely fight each other. However, the First Universe Era and Second Universe Era, even without treasures, they would still kill on sight. A few brand new styles of battle. Their new usage of the origin laws made Luo Feng's eyes gleam. Comprehending by analogy, his improvement in the beast god path was swift and violent, 10 times faster than training in the primal universe. Even his progress in the engraving school was very fast. It's a pity I haven't been able to create the strongest technique. Luo Feng thought. The 3rd level of Star Pagoda is still far away. I'll wait. Roaming the Qingfeng world is like this. Most of the time it's peaceful. However, the moment the opportunity arises, I'll have to risk it all. Luo Feng immediately became a beam of light and flew, once again exploring. The water region was simply too huge. Countless warriors from the 3 universe eras spent countless years and still couldn't explore the entire water region. Luo Feng too slowly explored. Last time, when I discovered the Firestone Master, I quietly followed him. When the distance was close, I immediately released a domain-type treasure and sealed the space. And young Lord shook his head in space and sighed. That stupid Flint Emperor, I was able to counter him. Just as I was about to kill him, who would have thought that primal universe human Luo Feng would ruin it? If I can successfully kill the Firestone Master, I'll get my hands on many treasures. Together with some of my own treasures, I'll probably be able to exchange for a peak domain-level treasure. Master of Yong shook his head and sighed. He was unwilling to give up. Beside him stood an expert from the Holy-Eyed clan. There was also a one-eyed shadow in the halo at the back of his head. This was the characteristic of the Holy-Eyed clan. And Yong, did you gain anything in the inner area this time? The expert from the Holy-Eyed clan asked. The inner region is too dangerous. I only wandered around the safer places in the inner region. Those places have long been searched. Even though they had fought more than a dozen times, and even though they managed to push their opponent to the brink of death in one of the battles, their opponent still charged straight into the dangerous regions of the inner region in a frenzy. I don't dare to chase after them. And young Lord was helpless. I didn't gain anything. It's better to slowly explore the waters. There's less danger, and occasionally I'll get treasures. Who knows, I might even meet some weaker universe lords that I can kill. The Holy-Eyed clan warrior said. Jiayu, did you gain anything? And young Lord asked. A small gain. Jiayu smiled. Jiayu and young Lord only conversed once before parting ways. It was rather lonely in the Pinnacle world, hence they would usually chat when they met. In the blink of an eye, another 2 years passed. Hua hua hua. Jiayu's face was handsome. His entire body glowed with a white light. There was a halo behind his head, and within it was a one-eyed shadow. He was flying slowly at the bottom of the waters. He explored the mountain peaks at the bottom of the water, the protrusions on the natural mountain rocks, and the canyons without a trace of impatience. As an absolute warrior with an endless lifespan, even 10,000 years of exploration would be peaceful. Cave. It looked like an ordinary mountain cave, and Jiayu directly flew inside. The cave's diameter was tens of thousands of kilometers, and its depth was tens of millions of kilometers. Jiayu carefully flew inside. Sometimes, seemingly ordinary caves and valleys in the waters might actually contain treasures. Jiayu sensed an extremely weak energy ripple. Energy ripple. Could it be? Jiayu's eyes instantly lit up, and his entire aura changed. His gaze swept across every region in front of him, and he even used his divine power to scan them. He advanced very slowly. The cave was deep and winding, and Jiayu suppressed his excitement and slowed down even more. After nearly 6 hours, Jiayu had just turned a corner when he saw a bright light in the distance, which made him even more excited. Haha, there might be some treasures hidden in the waters, perhaps even some special gains. Although Jiayu's speed was slow, he quickly arrived in front of that bright light. Treasures. Great treasures. Master Jiayu looked up and saw that there was a screen of light blocking his path forward. The screen itself was emitting extremely weak energy fluctuations, but strangely, Master Jiayu had used his divine power to scan the area before, but he hadn't found this screen of light at all. Light screen. Only some extremely powerful supreme treasures in the Fallen Peak world would cause special scenes to appear. For example, there might be danger in the surroundings, or this kind of light screen that can't be detected, etc. Jiayu was incomparably excited. As an expert of the first Cosmos era, he naturally had ample experience. According to his past experience, the light screen itself didn't pose any threat. Be careful. Jiayu flipped his hand. Hua! A blue sphere appeared out of nowhere, and it rapidly expanded, reaching a height of 10,000 kilometers. Jiayu maintained a height of 1,000 kilometers and entered it with a single step. This is a peak-grade ceiling palace type supreme treasure. If I hide inside, even the strongest expert of the cosmos won't be able to kill me. Jiayu was incomparably excited. Although he had lived for countless years, he had seen special scenes because of a certain treasure But that was with the other experts of the holy-eyed race. It was the first time in countless years that he had monopolized such a treasure. Such a commotion, it should at least be a peak-grade domain-type supreme treasure. Who knows, it might be a mystical item or some extraordinary special item. Jiayu controlled the peak-grade ceiling palace-type supreme treasure. Hua! He flew slowly. When he touched the light screen, it was as though he was breaking through a layer of water without any obstruction. Another layer of light screen? Jiayu was shocked to discover that there was another light screen behind the light screen. Hua! He passed through another layer. Third layer. Jiayu was even more excited, and he continued to pass through. Fourth layer. Fifth layer. Sixth layer. A total of 9 layers. It must be an incredible treasure ground. Haha, looks like my luck isn't bad. Jiayu passed through the 9th layer. Hong! No! Everything returned to silence. The deep and winding cave was as quiet as ever, and the light screen was still there, without any changes. It was as though Jiayu had never entered before. One of the 7 great miniaturized cosmoses of the first universe era of the holy-eyed race. No, Jiayu's incarnation was filled with excitement and anticipation, but he only had time to reveal a look of fear. Pung! The incarnation was destroyed. The moment the incarnation was destroyed, the master of the entire miniaturized cosmos, the third true lord of the holy-eyed race, immediately discovered it. Jiayu has fallen. A sigh resounded throughout the entire miniaturized cosmos. On the highest continent of the miniaturized cosmos, more than 10 universe lords were scattered everywhere, and immediately their incarnations appeared. The third true lord, Jiayu, has fallen? How did Lord Jiayu die? Who killed him? How'd he die? Instantly, they all asked anxiously. After all, according to their classification, Jiayu was a peak level for Universe Lord. Even if he met the strongest expert in the universe, he would have a chance to survive for a short period of time. To the entire holy-eyed race, the fall of a Universe Lord was something that would only happen once in a long time. Jiayu fell instantly, and his incarnation did not even have time to leave a detailed message. A voice came from the sky. He fell so quickly that he did not even have time to leave a message. If he really met with a terrifying danger, he should have contacted other experts for help. The voice in the sky said slowly, so Jiayu probably did not discover the danger beforehand, and when he discovered it, he fell immediately. He doesn't even know the reason for his fall? Even the strongest expert in the universe would not be able to do that. How could it be so terrifying? Looks like only some of the terrifying dangers in the pinnacle realm would be able to do that. Just the strength of an expert would not be able to reach such a level. These incarnations of the universe, lords, all said. The holy-eyed race was split into 7 miniaturized cosmoses and naturally had connections with each other. The fall of Jiayu quickly spread to the upper echelons of the holy-eyed race. Jiayu, he was exploring the water region. The danger should have come from somewhere in the water region. For a danger to appear in the water region that could cause Jiayu to fall instantly. Looks like this place is not ordinary. According to the last information that could be found, Jiayu should have fallen in the area of the 193293 reference system. Now, I order the 3 universe lords of our race in the Pinnacle Realm's water region, Master of Inyong, Master of Array Mending, and Master of the Time Chariot, to head to the water region of the Pinnacle Realm to explore. You must be careful. If you discover any suspicious or dangerous areas, do not directly enter. Yes, yes, yes. Master of Inyong, Master of Array Mending, and Master of the Time Chariot immediately responded and rapidly teleported in the void of the Pinnacle Realm before entering the water region, heading towards the 193293 reference system to explore in detail. P.S. Here's the first chapter. To be continued. If you like this work, please come Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1194. In the sky above the waters of the Qingfeng realm, a huge celestial mountain rock was flying at several times the speed of light, while 3 figures emitting hazy white light were gathered together. Jiayu didn't even have time to leave a message before he died. What kind of danger did he encounter? Even in the pinnacle realm, there are only a few places where Master Jiayu didn't even have time to leave a message before he died. Only the core of the pinnacle realm is more common. One of the holy-eyed race experts said, and it was indeed very dangerous this time. We followed the first true Lord's instructions. Once we find a dangerous place, we will immediately report it. I'm afraid we've wasted our efforts. The place where Jiayu died is probably not in the 193293 region of reference. Yes, this is where Jiayu was a few days before he died. His true place of death should be around here. He might even teleport to the inner region of the pinnacle realm and die there. Whatever, we will follow your orders. I will be in charge of a third of the region, and Young will be in charge of this third. Sui Ji, you will be in charge of this third. Okay. Hua, hua, hua. The three experts of the holy-eyed race instantly split up and flew down to the vast water region to begin their search. The pinnacle realm was simply too big, and there were large numbers of water spirits in the depths. Even 100 factions didn't dare to say that they had searched the entire water region. As time passed, the structure of the water region would gradually change. 6 days later. Simple search complete. I've also searched. Not yet. The three universe lords met and looked at each other. They didn't find any clues. What should they do? A single region of reference is too big. We have to rely on domain-type treasures to search within a few light years. Master and Young said, although this method is fast, the true treasures are affected by the pinnacle realm and can't be found with domains. Of course we know that. What should we do? Do we really have to search one by one? How do we search? How long would it take to travel a distance of a light year if one walked slowly from one place to another? How long would it take to cover an area 1 light year long, 1 light year wide, and 1 light year high? Searching wasn't flying. Just like the deceased Lord Jiayu, he would carefully explore some caves, and when he didn't find any treasures, he would retreat. He continued on to the next canyon, cave, mountain, vegetation, and so on. His speed was extremely slow. Perhaps even 10,000 epochs would not be enough to cover a distance of 1 light year in a straight line, and 1 light year in length, width, and height. Even 100 million epochs was far from enough. It's impossible to explore in detail. We can only do a simple exploration. Report. Yes, report back. Master and Young and the others could only report. Continue. Long before Jiayu perished, he was in that frame of reference. When they truly died, it was very likely that they would leave the frame of reference and explore the surrounding area. The three of you, go and search the 100 frames of reference around the 193,293 frame of reference. The first true Lord ordered. Yes, Master and Young and the others followed. If it was just a simple search, they wouldn't resist. In the blink of an eye, a few years had passed. The three of them had used their domain treasures to search through the surrounding 100 reference systems. They were even lucky enough to find a high-grade treasure weapon hidden in the depths of a canyon. They also found 2 strange places. When the 6th true Lord of the holy-eyed race personally came to investigate, he didn't find anything. We've really been busy for nothing. Who knows where Jiayu died? Maybe he died in the inner region of Qingfeng Realm Lord Mountain. They have been busy for nothing. The holy-eyed race also investigated for a long time. Firstly, they investigated the most likely water region. Secondly, they investigated whether the treasure used by Master Jiayu was in the hands of other foreign race experts. Thirdly, the 6th true Lord personally investigated. In the end, they could only admit defeat. There were no results. Normally, if a holy-eyed race expert was killed, the other existences of the holy-eyed race wouldn't let it go so easily. But this time, they couldn't find any traces. They could only swallow their anger. Master and Young, Master of the Year Chariot and Master of the Array Mending were naturally dismissed. Master and Young and Master of the Year Chariot and Master of the Array Mending left. Only the Master and Young continued to head deeper into the water region. A few years before he died, I met Jiayu. Back then, he seemed to have some gains in the water region, and he continued to investigate the water region. There's a 90% chance that he died in the water region. I'll use the 193,293 frame of reference to carefully investigate. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, it was already the 12th year since Master Jiayu died. It's been said that the Qing Feng world is dangerous. It's one of the 3 great danger zones. I've been here for 30 years, and I've never met any true danger. Luo Feng flew in midair. Looking at the distant, majestic Qing Feng Realm Lord Mountain, the endless waterfall poured down. Rumble, this huge waterfall was tens of millions of light years tall. Every drop of water was comparable to a star. How terrifying was this endless waterfall? If this impact could be gathered at one point, even the strongest warrior in the universe would be destroyed. However, when it was spread out, it constantly struck the water region below. This caused the vast water region to constantly change. I'll go to the main mountain of Qing Feng World to take a look. Anyway, as long as I don't enter the mountain, the danger isn't that great. Luo Feng teleported again and again. Shua, 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 swiftly heading towards the main mountain of Qing Feng World. This was the first time he got so close to the main mountain in 30 years. Looking at the mountain, even Luo Feng's teleportation was rather tiring. After teleporting over 30 million light years, he was already very close to the main mountain. Shua. Luo Feng suddenly stopped in midair. Ahead was almost the entire universe sea of Qing Feng World's main mountain. However, Luo Feng frowned as he gazed below. What, my Slayer Wu wings? Luo Feng turned to look at the Slayer Wu wings behind him. The wings would occasionally tremble. Summoning, almost like magnets attracting each other. The Wu killer wings were attracted. A very weak summoning. It seems to be from that direction, from the depths of the water region. Luo Feng gazed below and frowned. This wasn't something he didn't have experience with. Back then, Tian Tai Knight's flowing light wings and his own wings were attracted to each other, and that attraction was terrifyingly strong. This attraction was very weak, extremely weak. Don't tell me the third pair of wings is below? Luo Feng thought. Let's go take a look. So, Luo Feng teleported 10 light years downwards. It's much stronger. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. The trembling of the Wu killer wings behind him intensified. Obviously, the summoning was very strong. Go down. Luo Feng teleported again. Rumble. He had already entered the shallow water region of the endless water region. Rumble. The Wu killer wings behind him were madly trembling. What a strong summoning. Luo Feng revealed a look of excitement. He immediately unleashed the golden country. The blurry golden light immediately spread out, forming a 10-light-year radius, huge, blurry, golden region. Of course, this wasn't the limit of the golden country. However, in the dangerous water region, Luo Feng didn't dare to teleport too far. Shua. Luo Feng once again advanced another 3 light years, after which he entered the dangerous region. He couldn't simply teleport as he wished. The mid to long distance teleportation in the water region was normally only used in the shallow water region. In the deep water region, even with the help of the domain, he could only teleport very short distances. Shua, shua, shua. Luo Feng relied on the strong summoning. He was incomparably familiar with the direction of the summoning as he got closer. However, every time he teleported, the distance was incredibly short, only over 100 million kilometers. It must be the other parts of the Wu killer wings. Haha, I knew it. I knew there were other parts. However, I didn't expect to find them in the pinnacle region. Luo Feng was very excited. Back when he acquired Tian Wu Knight's pair of treasured wings, it allowed the Wu killer wings to become 4 wings. After studying it, he discovered that the third engraving was incomplete. Obviously, there were other parts. Originally, Luo Feng thought that it could have been obtained by other warriors of the Cosmic Sea. After all, there were many warriors with treasured wings. Also, these warriors who obtained a pair of treasured wings felt that it wasn't powerful enough, so they bestowed it to other warriors of the universe. This was one possibility. The other possibility was that it was in the pinnacle world, I didn't expect it to be so easy for me to sense it. I don't know if it's on the warrior or somewhere else. Luo Feng thought. Luo Feng flew at high speed and swiftly landed in a cave. It's inside. The summoning is coming from within. Luo Feng looked at the deep cave before him and carefully proceeded. The cave was wide and twisted, deep and unfathomable. Wong, wong, wong. The Wu killer wings on Luo Feng's back were madly vibrating. Luo Feng could only use his god energy to suppress it, preventing it from flying out. This summoning is too strong. The last time I faced Tian Wu Knight, the summoning wasn't this strong. Luo Feng muttered. Is it because my Wu killer wings are more complete, hence the summoning is stronger? Luo Feng was very suspicious about this. He carefully proceeded. After spending a total of 3 hours, under careful observation, Luo Feng finally saw the distant screen. Screen? Luo Feng carefully approached, frowning as he looked at the screen. Even though the Wu killer wings behind him struggled with all its might, almost as though it was trying to leave him, Luo Feng was very calm and cautious. Something's wrong. Something's very wrong. Luo Feng frowned. If there are other parts of the Wu killer wings within, and they have no owner, under normal circumstances, they should automatically fly over. The parts have an owner, and the owner is suppressing it. Then the owner should be able to feel the summoning. Wouldn't he be curious and not come over to check? Luo Feng looked at the screen before him. According to my understanding of Qing Feng world, normally only special treasures would have a screen and other special scenes. Like normal treasures, high-level treasures, and top-level treasures, they were usually casually hidden in some corner. Only some powerful treasures, or even mystical items, would cause such a phenomenon. Screen? The Wu killer wings summoning. That part didn't automatically fly over. Even though Luo Feng's heart was filled with desire, even wanting to rush in, with the notoriety of Qing Feng world, he didn't dare mess around. Something's very wrong. I'll let the Masha clansmen go take a look. Luo Feng naturally made the decision. These few years of exploring the Qing Feng world, whenever there was a special situation, he would let the Masha clansmen handle it. Shua, a black-clothed Masha clansman appeared beside him and flew straight ahead. The moment it touched the screen, it easily entered. Tomorrow is a rest day. Saturday, no updates, just what was inside the cave. It will be revealed the day after tomorrow, asterisk, to be continued. If you like this work, please come come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1195. The Masha clansman's body was small, his god energy purity was low, and he didn't have any treasures. Even if he sacrificed one, with the golden horned beast and his earth body, he would be able to recover in a few breaths. Hence, during the 30 years in the pinnacle world, whenever he encountered something he wasn't confident in, he would let the Masha clansman do it. Hua, passing through the screen. The Masha clansman looked ahead curiously. There was actually still a tunnel ahead, and there was even a new screen. 2 layers of screens. The 3 great danger zones are the scariest places in the universe C. Only a few special areas will have special scenes appear. The Masha clansman was curious. 2 layers of screens, just what's inside. So, agilely moving forward, he easily passed through the screen. The screen itself couldn't stop anyone from entering. However, it could make all domain scanning and god energy scanning useless. My god, 3 layers of screens? The Masha clansman was shocked. He continued to pass through. 4th layer, 5th layer, 6th layer. The Masha clansman was completely shocked. Previously, in the information given by the human race regarding the pinnacle world, flowing mountain, and the universe ship, there were indeed descriptions of the birth of some terrifying treasures. There were even records of the birth of the strongest treasures. Of course, the scenes were different. There were a total of 12 records regarding the screens. 3 of them were about treasures, 9 of them were about rare treasures, etc. The scenes of the 3 treasures, they were pinnacle treasures with 1 layer, pinnacle treasures with 3 layers, pinnacle treasures with 3 layers. 7th layer, 8th layer, there's actually a 9th layer, a huge treasure trove. It's definitely an extremely huge treasure trove. If a warrior says there's an absolute treasure within, I believe it. The Masha clansman looked excitedly at the ninth layer. However, from the crazily struggling of the Wuxia wings, there should be other parts of the wings within. Even if it's an absolute treasure part, its power shouldn't be that strong. There shouldn't be a ninth layer, right? The Masha clansman was curious. Actually, Luo Feng was filled with questions. Firstly, the damaged part didn't fly out. Secondly, the summoning was too intense, far more powerful than when he first encountered the flowing light wings. Thirdly, the 9-layered light screen was too inconceivable. Could it be that there aren't just parts of the Wu slaying wings inside, but other treasures as well? For example, a supreme treasure? The Masha clan's clone immediately suppressed the many thoughts in his heart. When faced with treasures, one would think too much, but reality was sometimes cruel. Whatever, I'll know once I see it. Wah! He easily entered the 9th layer of the light screen. Here, the moment the Masha clone passed through the 9th layer, he found himself surrounded by a dazzling space. Before he could take a closer look, several huge, blade-like rays of light swept past the Masha clone. An intense pain assaulted his entire body. Pung! The Masha clan's clone was instantly destroyed. Outside the first layer of light, Luo Feng stood there. What the hell? Luo Feng blinked, completely shocked. My Masha clansman is after all a universe knight, to be able to instantly destroy a knight without even thinking. How terrifying was that attack? It's probably comparable to an attack from a universe lord. Luo Feng pondered. Again, another Masha clan clone appeared next to him and entered the light barrier in a flash. Before the 9th layer, the Masha clansman gritted his teeth. The moment I enter, I'll unleash my natural ability domain. I'll definitely be able to stay alive for a short period of time. I want to see just what kind of treasure this place is to be able to emit such terrifying energies around. Hua! In just a blink of an eye, he had already entered the 9th light screen. As soon as he entered, he immediately cast his innate secret method, territory, within the incomparably vast space. The Masha clansman had already completely merged with the space within 10,000 kilometers. Rumble, countless blade-like lights surged and swept through everything. In this vast space, the universe space itself had long become an endless flow of particles. The moment the Masha clansman transformed into his domain, he felt the destructive energies invade him, causing him to be instantly destroyed. Luo Feng stood in the depths of the cave before the first layer. After a while, his eyes gleamed, destroying the skies and lands, destroying everything in the universe space. Time, space, these are the structures of the universe. My Masha clansman unleashed his natural ability domain and still couldn't survive this. This is simply... Luo Feng was completely shocked. Simultaneously, his heart was filled with excitement. Treasure, this was definitely the pinnacle of treasures. There could very well be an absolute treasure within. Using strength to break through. All laws before absolute strength, they had to retreat. Just like the strongest of the universe. With their words, even the origin laws of the universe had to retreat. Furthermore, the power unleashed by these supreme treasures could also form an absolute domain within a certain range. Within this domain, all laws could be forced to retreat. Even the lords of the universe could perish. That mysterious place behind the 9th layer is already strong enough to destroy space and time. Using strength to break through. I'm afraid it's the strongest of the universe, the absolute treasure level. Luo Feng revealed a look of glee. He didn't feel any fear, only excitement and joy. The stronger the power, the better. The stronger the treasure, the more terrifying it was. Luo Feng wasn't worried he wouldn't be able to acquire it. I have the Blood Cloud Palace and Star Pagoda with me. The Blood Cloud Palace is a pinnacle flying palace-type treasure. Its power is extremely strong, and it specializes in material defense. Even the strongest of the universe couldn't destroy it with a full-powered attack. Luo Feng thought. Even an absolute treasure's power shouldn't be able to easily destroy a pinnacle flying palace. This was common sense. A pinnacle flying palace-type treasure. With it, one could dominate the universe sea. However, Luo Feng didn't know that before him, the god-eyed clan leader Jiayu had tried to barge in, and he hid in a pinnacle flying palace-type treasure. His ending was tragic. Blood Cloud Palace, Star Pagoda, especially the absolute treasure Star Pagoda. Luo Feng thought. According to what my teacher said, any one of the 3 danger zones has no way to destroy an absolute treasure. However, before I enter, I have to investigate the situation inside. I don't believe that the blade light that ripped me apart is everywhere. Luo Feng thought. The Masha clansman had fallen twice before. He didn't even see the situation inside clearly. He only knew that the glaring blade light had killed him. Shua. The Masha clansman tried to barge in again. Similarly, in an instant, it was swept away by the vast and endless blade lights, killing him. The 3rd time, 4th time, 5th time, I'll try 100 times, I don't believe I'll fall every time. Luo Feng wouldn't easily take the risk. After all, even though the Star Pagoda was safe, it only meant it could block all material attacks. However, if the Star Pagoda were to fall into a dangerous situation where he couldn't escape, the information given by the human race had many such dangerous places recorded. Sending the Masha clansman to his death time and time again to gather more information was also for safety reasons. As for the Masha clansman, even if he fell 100 times, the god energy he lost, his earth body, and the golden horned beast would only require a short while to recover. Shua, 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 madly falling again and again. Every time he was swept away by the vast and extremely dense blade storm, he was instantly destroyed. The 39th time, the Masha clansman charged in again. The Masha clansman was overjoyed to see that the endless blade like glaring lights had gathered into a storm. Around him were endless storms, however none of them touched him, causing the Masha clansman to immediately scan and swiftly observe everything. Not even a millionth of a second. However, Luo Feng's consciousness revolved quickly. He could already see everything clearly. This was an incomparably vast space. The pitch-black space was filled with countless rumbling primal chaos particles, and the glaring, endless blade-like storm engulfed everything. The area was so vast, just one glance, and one could see it in light years. In this endless space, the most dazzling thing was in the distance, that huge, what completely made Luo Feng dumbstruck, wings, seemingly endless. A pair of wings that were even more dazzling than the sun by trillions of times. The 2 wings were incomparably huge. That dazzling white wing light emitted a pressure. That terrifying pressure from above caused Luo Feng's consciousness to pause, following which, rumble, the Masha clansman was already killed by the endless blade storm. Deep within the winding cave, outside the first layer of light, Luo Feng stood there stunned, his mind filled with the shocking scene before him. The endless pair of wings, even more dazzling than the sun by trillions of times, it felt like an incomparably huge light wing. That absolute superiority even made Luo Feng feel a sense of submission. Wings. A wing? This mysterious place is actually a feather. Luo Feng was stunned. Don't tell me that extremely terrifying wing is a part of my killer Wu's wing. Is that possible? Is this possible? What a joke. Luo Feng had seen many treasures before. Absolute treasures. He had seen them before. He even had an absolute treasure Star Pagoda. The power of the Star Pagoda was extremely huge. Just the 9 spiral nebula that it swallowed was already that strong. As for the true power of the Star Pagoda, Luo Feng wasn't too sure. After all, the Star Pagoda had always been quietly in space. He only knew that the 4 pinnacle races had once fought for it. Many of the strongest warriors of the universe had tried to steal it, but they all failed. That glaring to the extreme, that huge light wing, it must be an absolute treasure. It must be. Being this strong, it would be weird if it wasn't an absolute treasure. And from the looks of it, looking at that incomparably crazy blade tornado, it should be an attack-type absolute treasure. Luo Feng was extremely excited. Any absolute warrior in the universe who could acquire an absolute treasure would be excited too. Following which, Luo Feng's mind was filled with endless questions. He couldn't help but frown. Very peculiar. That incomparably huge, glaring light wing. Even though he could vaguely see it through the endless storm, he could tell that it didn't have an owner. However, it didn't fly over. The killer Wu wings on his body wanted to fly over. Is it a part? Luo Feng muttered to himself. My two pairs of wings added together are only at the pinnacle level. That pair of wings is already that strong. Furthermore, how could a part of a supreme treasure be so powerful? P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1196. Just the pressure emitted by those seemingly endless wings of light was enough to cause his consciousness, which was at the level of a lord of the universe, to freeze instantly. It was truly unbelievable. Don't tell me. The two wings on my body are related to the light wings like the pagoda pearl, the ceiling stars, and the star pagoda? Luo Feng guessed. I'm just two small parts of the light wings. Just as he was thinking, suddenly, rumble, the entire deep cave was suddenly filled with endless ice-white sand. Countless sand particles flowed and filled every corner of the cave. They even easily penetrated the thick rocks and swept through every corner. At the same time, the sea of sand also swept through the light screen. The light screen slightly rippled, as though the surrounding space and time had already distorted. No matter how he looked, he couldn't discover the secrets within. Domain treasure, ice sand ocean. Luo Feng was shocked. Ice sand ocean was the domain treasure of the Young Master. He had experienced it before when he saved the Firestone Emperor. Ha! Human Milky Way leader Luo Feng. A voice resounded in his ears through the endless sea of sand. Hua! The surrounding space ripples immediately froze. Space lock. He's actually here. What a coincidence. Luo Feng cursed within. That pair of light wings was without a doubt an absolute treasure. Incomparably precious. Its power was heaven-defying, and it had a special relationship with his Wu killer wings. Even though the Masha clansman only glanced at it briefly, he could tell that it was extremely proficient in attack. If he had the Star Pagoda and wings, these two absolute treasures, that would really be heaven-defying. Absolute treasures, just how precious are they? To get them, it won't be easy. Luo Feng muttered within. The Star Pagoda back then already made the strongest of the universe helpless. Even before them, they couldn't do anything about it. Even when Mountain Guest left it for him, he had to spend a lot of effort and go through life and death situations to get it. This light wing was probably about the same, however, with the sudden appearance of an Young Master. I can't let him discover the secrets of this cave. The God-Eyed clan's power is overwhelming. It's an absolute power, much stronger than our human race. The moment he finds out and notifies the God-Eyed clan, I won't be able to get the wings. Many thoughts flashed through Luo Feng's mind, after which he made his decision, immediately becoming a beam of light and swiftly flying out. The master of Yong stood at the peak of a mountain in the depths of the water domain, looking at the cave entrance in the distance with a rare look of excitement on his face. All these years, he had been searching slowly and meticulously in the area of the reference frame, number 193293. However, searching through caves, valleys, mountain bellies, aquatic plants, and so on was simply too slow. Usually, after a period of searching, he would use his domain-type treasure to scan through the area within 100 light years when he felt bored. A combination of detailed exploration and simple exploration. Occasionally, with such a large area sweep, he might be able to find some clues. He didn't expect that during this random sweep out of boredom, he would actually discover the primal universe human Luo Feng. Actually, during these years of his large-scale exploration, he had met two other universe lords that passed by. Luo Feng was the third to be swept out. I actually found this human Luo Feng. Ha, what luck. Yes, he's weak and doesn't dare to enter the inner region. He's probably searching in the outer regions. Since he actually came to my reference frame number 193293, he can't blame me. The Master of Inyong had a sense of superiority towards Luo Feng, because, in his eyes, Luo Feng had just entered the universe Lord level, his strength barely at the second level. He was only good at escaping. His domain is quite powerful. One-on-one, I probably won't be able to kill him. The one-eyed silhouette behind the Master of Inyong's back seemed ferocious. Universe C, the God-eyed clan had a total of 7 small universes. Within the 7th true Lord's universe, I've already intercepted the primal universe human Luo Feng. Right now he's at reference frame number 193293, 329, 491, 100939. That Luo Feng's domain control is extremely strong. With the help of a pinnacle domain treasure, we'll split the treasures evenly. Who can reach first? The Master of Inyong stood before a mirror. Many images appeared in the mirror. Haha, Inyong, your luck is really good. The news of the primal universe, humans' new universe Lord Luo Feng, has long spread. He has a special treasure that can control space and time. It's very hard to deal with. Indeed, only those with pinnacle domain treasures have a chance. Inyong, I'll need close to 40 minutes to reach. Translated from the God-eyed clan's words, it's 3 hours, equivalent to 40 minutes. Inyong, I'm in Peak World too. However, from the inner region, it'll take a few days. It's a pity I'm in the universe boat. Even if I teleport over, it'll take about 2 hours. Many images appeared in the mirror, speaking continuously. Later on, even the fastest one would need close to 40 minutes to reach. Master Golden Lion, please hurry over. I'll rush over as fast as I can. That primal universe human Luo Feng, I'll have to rely on you to hold him back. All right, Golden Lion and Inyong, I wish you success. Don't get beaten back by the human warriors. The human race will definitely protect that human Luo Feng. If you guys move slowly, the primal universe human warriors may arrive. Especially that primal chaos city leader. He's not to be trifled with. Hua! In the inner region of the pinnacle realm, the wind howled. Countless grains of sand and stones flew at 100 times the speed of light. Occasionally, there were some transparent grains of sand and stones. When they flew by, cracks silently appeared in the space. Dang! 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 A golden flying ship whizzed past, but it was struck by some sand and rocks, causing it to shake uncontrollably. However, it passed through with difficulty. Within the ship, a completely golden armored humanoid life form. His entire body was emitting white light. There was a halo behind his head, and within it was a single-eye silhouette. Human Luo Feng, a treasure that can control time and space? The God-eyed clan warrior muttered softly. When the Golden Lion Emperor and Inyong Emperor's clones agreed, deep within the water region 193293 of Peak World, Luo Feng and Inyong Emperor had already met. Luo Feng flew out of the cave and floated in the center of the water region. Not far away at the peak, Inyong Emperor stood and gazed at Luo Feng. Rumble, the golden flames swept through everything. All the sand and stones were dispersed. With the help of the Golden Country, the endless flames formed by the flaming sand cup enveloped the surrounding light years. Luo Feng was in the center of the endless flames. His 4 wings extended, and he faced Inyong Emperor. Inyong Emperor, I really see you everywhere. Luo Feng roared. Ha! Inyong Emperor laughed loudly. I didn't purposely look for you. I've searched this water region for a long time. You were the one who found the treasure and came here. You didn't walk this path of survival and chose to walk the path of death. Who can you blame? Path of death. Luo Feng sneered. Life is limited. Eternity is hard to seek. Inyong Emperor looked at Luo Feng. Killing is the only path. Inyong Emperor wasn't in a rush to make a move. He was intentionally stalling for time, because one-on-one he had 100% confidence in defeating Luo Feng. However, killing Luo Feng was an impossible task. Luo Feng replied verbally. However, he was wary within. He searched this region for a long time. Luo Feng immediately became wary. Why so long? Did he get some information? That pair of wings was filled with endless power. Luo Feng was afraid of anything happening along the way. He had to minimize any unexpected factors. Looks like he doesn't know yet. He's just busy searching everywhere. The entire bottom of the water region is filled with endless celestial rocks. There are countless caves, valleys, mountains, etc. If he keeps searching like this, I'm afraid he won't be able to find my cave even after 10,000 years. Luo Feng nodded. Before, when he came out of the cave, it seemed like the young emperor didn't suspect anything. Actually, not suspecting anything was normal, because there were countless caves in the water region. Searching for treasures in the water region was usually done through various caves. When the young emperor discovered Luo Feng was in the cave. And young emperor thought that Luo Feng was searching for treasures too. He didn't notice anything special about the countless caves. Killing is the only path. Luo Feng smiled savagely. It's hard to say who will kill who. Rumble. Luo Feng wielded his blade. He immediately became a beam of light and rushed towards the young emperor. He actually dares to fight me? The young emperor was shocked that Luo Feng didn't immediately flee. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Little punk, over the countless years, I've killed more warriors than you've ever seen. Fight me? Die. The scepter in his hand was incomparably glaring. The scepter pierced forward. In an instant, a beam of light appeared in space. There was only one word: fast. Dang! The beautiful golden blade flashed. It struck the tip of the scepter. The powerful impact caused Luo Feng to be flung away. So fast that I could barely block it. No wonder even the Flynn Emperor couldn't block it in time. The power is not small. The master of Yong looked at Luo Feng and praised. Your blade isn't bad. It's a pity that the power of your blade is a little weak. Your blade technique is probably just an ultimate technique. As he praised, his speed was terrifyingly fast, almost immediately catching up to Luo Feng. Luo Feng felt his entire body tremble. Powerful. He had the killing Wu wings and the blazing sand cup to support his blade technique. However, he was still at a disadvantage. I'm afraid I'll have to unleash my universe technique to be able to fight him. Luo Feng thought. The Yong Emperor's footsteps were slow. With one step, he passed through the layers of flames and arrived beside Luo Feng. The huge scepter in his hand immediately waved. It was almost as though the entire universe's energy was gathered at the tip of the scepter. It smashed fiercely at Luo Feng. This smash was definitely heavy. The move before was fast. This move was heavy. Chi! A lightning, fast, glaring stab suddenly lit up. Bastard! And Yong Emperor immediately roared. He wanted to wave the scepter in his hand to change directions. However, this sneak attack was simply too sudden. Chi! The incomparably glaring long spear pierced right into the Yong Emperor's left palm that he was trying his best to block. Die! A low roar resounded. A red silhouette appeared in the distance. His tail waved slightly. He wielded a huge spear. It was the Blood Cloud Palace leader. Rumble. The Star Pagoda transformed into a long spear. This extremely powerful treasure's second-level power was unleashed. Without any weapon to block, it pierced into an Yong Emperor's body. And Yong Emperor immediately roared. His entire body trembled violently. He could feel his divine body's energy rapidly weakening. I am the universe. Luo Feng, too, unleashed his strongest technique. P.S. Second chapter here. I'll continue writing the third chapter for the climax. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1197. That stab earlier caused the surrounding golden flames to form a whirlpool. The incomparably heavy water around, too, formed a huge whirlpool. This stab, fierce, fast, and Young Lord had just unleashed his strongest technique with his scepter. He couldn't defend against this sudden sneak attack in time. He could only use his left palm to unleash his strongest technique, sealing the skies. However, this move was originally unleashed from the scepter, hence its power was weakened through his palm, and he didn't have any treasures to defend against it. The tip of the long spear pierced into his palm. Ah! Lord of Peace, and Yang's divine body trembled. Instantly, a great deal of his divine power was consumed, and his aura rapidly weakened. In an instant, he was only 50% or less powerful. However, in the blink of an eye, boundless divine power was transmitted to him through the divine body of his doppelganger in his world ring, allowing him to recover rapidly. Rumble, the surrounding waters darkened, entering the chaos world. Chaos energy filled the area. Wu Killer Wings buff. Fire Sand Cup buff. Miniature Universe buff. Luo Feng's aura was like a rainbow. After unleashing the miniature universe, even without attacking, he could rely on the terrifying pressure to completely take the lead. And not far away, the tall blood cloud leader who was emitting endless killing aura wielded the 10,000 kilometers long spear and similarly attacked in Young Lord. Luo Feng and the blood cloud leader had joined hands. Actually, everything was within Luo Feng's plan. Before, when he used the Golden Country and the Flame Domain to destroy the Ice Sand Ocean, everything around was under his control, and Young Lord had no way to scan his surroundings. Naturally, he didn't know that Luo Feng had already secretly released the Golden Horned Beast that looked like the Blood Cloud Leader. Blood Cloud Leader. When Master of Yong saw this, he flew into a rage and sent a voice transmission. Palace Master Blood Cloud, although you've been in hiding for a long time, you're still quite famous. In the primeval universe, you don't make friends with anyone. Today, you actually disregarded your identity and ambushed me, and even helped this human Luo Feng to ambush me. Hee, I'll make friends with whoever I want. What can you do about it? The Blood Cloud leader was incomparably arrogant. Luo Feng, I like him, and he's from the primal universe. If I don't help him, why would I help your first universe era? Blood Cloud, let's join hands and finish him off. Luo Feng shouted. All right. The Blood Cloud Hall Master let out a strange cry. The Master of Yong retreated, anxious and furious. Originally, the situation had been good. Unexpectedly, the Blood Cloud Hall Master suddenly appeared. One had to know that all the major factions were looking for information on high-end experts. Even Luo Feng's information was gathered clearly. The God-Eyed clan naturally had information on the Blood Cloud leader too. The Blood Cloud leader battled against the Star River Lord on Primal Star. Even though he was at a disadvantage, his strength was almost undamaged. The Star River Lord went all out and could only give up in the end. This battle caused nearly 100 forces of the Cosmic Sea to immediately raise their evaluation of the Blood Cloud Hall Master. The information is indeed correct. My defense is extremely strong to begin with, and I dare to exchange injury for injury. Who would have thought that one stab from the long shuttle would cause my original body from the Holy-Eyed race to lose over 50% of its power? And Young Master swiftly retreated to stall for time, while anxiously thinking of a plan. Even if it's one-on-one, it'd be hard for me to gain the upper hand against this Blood Cloud leader. Now that the two of them are teaming up, the leader even has Luo Feng's support, Luo Feng's domain and miniature primal chaos world, completely suppressing me. The Blood Cloud leader, and I have no chance of winning. The thought flashed across his mind. The speed of the strong was extremely fast. Awesome. Unleashing the miniature universe in the Cosmic Sea, it's really awesome. Luo Feng roared excitedly within. This Cosmic Sea was filled with chaos energy, and it was extremely pure. And even though the chaos energy around the pinnacle world was thin, it was still extremely pure. After unleashing the miniature universe, Luo Feng was pleasantly surprised to discover the chaos energy he could control. Mixed with the pure chaos energy, his power immediately increased greatly. Miniature universe, chaos energy gather. Luo Feng roared fiercely. Hua hua. Two huge tornadoes formed in the miniature universe, revolving around Luo Feng's blade and the Blood Cloud Hall Master's Star Pagoda shuttle. Hua. The Star Pagoda shuttle once again pierced towards the Master of Inyong. Xiao! The glaring golden blade also slashed towards the Master of Inyong. Bastard! The Lord of Inyong was anxious and angry. The scepter in his hand turned into a blurry shadow as he used his strongest secret technique, Seal the Heavens. With a loud bang, the Lord of Inyong felt his divine body shake. The dazzling golden saber light behind him slashed his body, causing his divine body to tremble. His divine body immediately weakened by about 10%. Damn. The Master of Inyong was completely enraged. Ah, Inyong, today is the day you die. Luo Feng seemed very mad. You're dead for sure. The Blood Cloud Hall Master smiled savagely. Rumble. The two combined attacks. If they could block the Blood Cloud Hall Master, they wouldn't be able to block Luo Feng. If they could block Luo Feng, they wouldn't be able to block the Blood Cloud Hall Master. After all, the Blood Cloud Hall Master's second level of the Star Pagoda shuttle was extremely fast. Luo Feng's Blade Golden Light was also known for its speed. Along with the Miniature Universe, Flame Ocean, and Golden Country buffing, it was even faster, causing the Master of Inyong's weapons to slow down. No matter how strong he was, he could only block one of them. Without a doubt, he chose to block the Blood Cloud Hall Master. The Blood Cloud Hall Master is indeed at the 4th level, and with the surrounding domain support, he's probably comparable to the 5th level. That human is only at the 2nd level. Only with the surrounding domain support can he compare to the 4th level. The Master of Inyong was extremely anxious. The higher one's strength went, the higher it went. The Golden Horn Beast had an ultimate treasure. Only then could it be considered a 4th level warrior. And normal universe lords with ultimate treasures could only reach the 6th level. Firstly, Luo Feng could only comprehend the 2nd level of the Star Pagoda. Secondly, Luo Feng's god energy was too weak, hence the ultimate treasure wasn't able to unleash its full power. Along with the 3 buffs, it was indeed comparable to the 5th level. However, the true level 5 existences, such as the Primal Chaos City Master, Star River Master, etc., usually had a peak level domain treasure when they roamed the Cosmos Sea. With their abilities, using a peak level domain treasure was much stronger than the Skywolf Master. I'm weaker than the Star River Leader and Primal Chaos City Leader Teacher right now. However, if the two of us work together to destroy the Master of Inyong, I'm confident. Rumble. The Blood Cloud Leader and Luo Feng's true body attacked wantonly, surrounding the Master of Inyong and beating him up. Still arrogant. Still trying to kill me. Dream on. Luo Feng shouted as he surrounded and beat him up. This caused Master Inyong's face to turn golden, and the illusory one-eyed figure in the halo behind him became distorted. He was already going crazy from anger. He was an apex existence of the Lord of the Universe, the 4th level, and his defense was extremely strong. In a one-on-one fight, he would not be at such a disadvantage even if he faced the strongest experts of the universe. But now, there were 2 of them ganging up on one, and he could only block one side at a time. His body weakened. Recover. Weaken. Recover. He really can take a beating. Luo Feng cursed within. That Master of Inyong had been blocking the Blood Cloud Leader's attacks, allowing Luo Feng to attack. Every time his body weakened a little, it would swiftly recover. In the blink of an eye, 9 seconds had passed. Luo Feng immediately stopped maintaining the miniature universe. Immediately, the endless universe dissipated. The surrounding chaos energy dissipated. The pressure on the Master of Inyong immediately weakened. The Master of Inyong couldn't care less. He became a beam of light and fled. Trying to flee? The Blood Cloud Leader roared. Don't chase. Luo Feng shouted. This Master of Inyong is a punk that can't be beaten to death. Luo Feng retracted the space lock too. The Master of Inyong had already released the space lock when he was surrounded. The moment he felt the ripples, he immediately teleported far away. He really didn't want to be surrounded and beaten up. The loss of his god energy was a small matter. It was just that the helplessness of being surrounded and beaten up was too unbearable too humiliating. In the depths of the water, Luo Feng and the Blood Cloud leader stood shoulder to shoulder. He teleported away. Luo Feng smiled. With a thought, he had already kept the Blood Cloud leader, Golden Horned Beast, into his world ring. Even if the news of me and the Blood Cloud leader working together to deal with the Master of Enyong spreads, it wouldn't matter. After all, the Blood Cloud leader had no enmity with the human race. Luo Feng thought, what's more, with the Master of Enyong's reputation, this news wouldn't spread. Whether it spread or not, it didn't matter. He had long offended the three great alliances, Demon, Automaton, and Bug Race, Ancestral God Sect, Space Beast Alliance, and his own human race that were on good terms with him. They also wouldn't do anything to him because of his relationship with the Blood Cloud leader. Shua. Luo Feng immediately flew into the cave. The vast universe, see, the God-eyed clan's seventh small universe. Within the palace, the Master of Enyong sat on his throne, his expression furious. His rage was hard to suppress. Damn it, damn it, damn it. The Master of Enyong roared. Suddenly he frowned. Flipping his hand, and a mirror appeared before him. On it was a golden armored silhouette. Enyong, Golden Swan. Enyong, I'm rushing out from the inner region of Qing Feng World. Why did you suddenly contact me? Golden Swan leader, I've disappointed you. The Master of Enyong lowered his head in apology, after which he looked up. When I was dealing with that primal universe human Luo Feng, I didn't expect him to have a helper, the Blood Cloud leader, with the Blood Cloud leader and the human Luo Feng working together. Even I'm at a disadvantage. This mission has failed. Failed. The Golden Swan leader was furious. You didn't have 100% confidence and immediately asked for my help. I've already passed through many layers of danger, and now you want me to return? Don't let such a thing happen a second time. Rumble. The silhouette in the mirror immediately vanished. The Master of Enyong could only snort softly. There was no choice in terms of strength and position. The Golden Swan leader was higher than him. To be able to have a pinnacle domain treasure, to a certain extent, it reflected the Golden Swan leader's strength. Blood Cloud leader, human Luo Feng. When I discovered Luo Feng back then, I used the space lock. That Blood Cloud leader can't rush over from the outside world. He should be in his world ring. Even if our relationship is good, there's no need for him to follow so closely, unless... The Master of Enyong's gaze flickered, immediately gritting his teeth. I know, the human wants to protect Luo Feng. This Blood Cloud leader was arranged by him. No wonder the Blood Cloud leader hasn't acted against the human race, and always wears a mask. I'm afraid he's a human. P.S. 3 chapters completed. To be continued. If you like this work, please come Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1198. The Blood Cloud leader is a human, and he's secretly protecting Luo Feng? You're not joking? Who knows? This news has been spreading amongst the universe lords. Since it's spread like that, it's probably possible. Haha. No wonder the Blood Cloud leader hasn't acted against the humans, so that's why. Damned humans. Back then, they actually secretly let the Blood Cloud leader act against the Northern Border Alliance. The news spread. The God-eyed clan and some of the powers within the primal universe had some information. Under the intentional efforts of the Enyong Emperor, the news naturally spread. This made some of the powers that had suffered at the hands of the Blood Cloud leader unhappy. Some even went to question the human warriors. Is the Blood Cloud leader a human? For no reason to let the Blood Cloud leader go on a killing spree. What's wrong with you humans? He's not. He still doesn't admit it? Good, you humans are vicious. Those that went to question the humans all received similar replies. The humans obviously didn't recognize the Blood Cloud leader as a human. Naturally, they wouldn't care about other matters. As for the other alien races asking if the human Luo Feng was with the Blood Cloud leader, the humans didn't care at all. Who Luo Feng befriended is none of our business. Our human race doesn't restrict our universe lords from befriending. If he really did befriend the Blood Cloud leader, we wouldn't care either. As for whether he's with the Blood Cloud leader, I'm sorry, there's no need to tell you. His backbone was strong. The human race didn't care about the other powers. However, the primal Chaos City leader, Void Gold Lord, and the other universe lords. Even though they were tough on the outside, they were still shocked within and questioned Luo Feng through the virtual universe. To this, Luo Feng's reply was simple. The Blood Cloud leader and I met in the Qingfeng World Water region. We got along very well, hence we roamed together. Actually, all of this was caused by the Young Emperor behind the scenes. Before, he was surrounded by Luo Feng and the Blood Cloud leader, causing his plan to fail. This made his own Golden Master very unhappy. This naturally made the Young Emperor even more unhappy. Since he couldn't do anything to Luo Feng, he would add more trouble for him. Hence he began to spread the news. The Blood Cloud leader has many enemies. His enemies will also view you as enemies, Luo Feng. The more enemies I have, the higher the probability of someone hitting me while I'm down will be. Just wait. Master of Peace and Yong was very patient. As a supreme existence, his lifespan was incomparably long, and the enmity between supreme experts of the same level would usually last for a very long time. In fact, it was very rare for one side to perish even after countless years. A little fellow like you dares to bully me. I definitely won't let you off. I won't. Lord Yong was a vengeful person. Once the great calamity arrived, as an expert of the first era of the universe, he would definitely perish. At the very least, he had yet to find any hope of escaping the great apocalypse. Thus, he naturally acted even more crazily. The methods of the Young Master to Luo Feng would at most give him a few more enemies. Luo Feng didn't care about that. Ordinary experts are usually afraid of having too many enemies and are unwilling to make more. I have the Star Tower. From the looks of it, there is hope for me to obtain another supreme treasure. I am destined to be extraordinary. A treasured sword will be sharpened. A few more enemies will only be able to sharpen me even more. In the depths of the cave, between the first and second light curtains, Luo Feng was here. He was afraid that it would be like the last time, and he would be discovered by the other warriors. Hence he decided to charge through the first light curtains. With the curtains blocking, the other warriors wouldn't be able to detect him at all. 100th time, the Masha clansman entered the mysterious wing space and attempted to charge through it for the 100th time. However, the moment it appeared, it fell. I've attempted it a total of 100 times. There were 2 times where I had the time to observe my surroundings. Luo Feng nodded within. 2 times of observation. Within the wing space, other than that seemingly endless and incomparably glaring huge wings of light, there was also the endless blade-like storm that engulfed the entire space. To have more confidence, I'll let the Star Tower go. Luo Feng made his decision. Luo Feng sat cross-legged on the ice-cold stone ground between the first and second light curtains. Closing his eyes and meditating, he allowed his excited heart to calm down. After all, any supreme treasure wasn't that easy to obtain. Even if it was right before his eyes, it would still be hard to make it recognize him as its owner. He couldn't be arrogant or careless. Meditating for 5 minutes, getting rid of his impatience and excitement, like a calm lake without a single ripple. Let's go. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. Hua. Beside him appeared the masked blood-red armored man. It was the Blood Cloud Palace leader. The golden horned beast will stay here. I'll go in. Luo Feng thought. The reason why he let his earth body enter was mainly because he had the Wu slaying wings on him. This time, he wanted to get his hands on the extremely powerful light wings. Luo Feng had a feeling that his Wu slaying wings would have some use. Big. Luo Feng raised a pagoda in his hand. It was the Star Tower. Hua. The Star Tower expanded rapidly. In an instant, it became a 10,000 kilometers tall star tower. Luo Feng took a step and entered the tower. Within the tower, the control core room. On the 9-sided metal floor, the surroundings were all transparent. Luo Feng stood there. Everything outside will appear. Luo Feng was connected to the core consciousness of the Star Tower. The Star Tower itself had a certain level of intelligence, just that it was very low. Its calculation speed might be terrifying, but its emotional intelligence was like a baby's. The surrounding scenery changed. Everything appeared. It was a little like an external simulation, allowing Luo Feng to clearly see the surrounding rocks, lights, etc. Advance. Luo Feng controlled the entire star tower and began to fly. Shua. Second screen. Luo Feng muttered softly, continuing to control the star tower. The star tower's flying speed was very slow, however it continued to pierce through layers and layers of light, quickly reaching the ninth screen. I'm about to reach that mysterious space. Luo Feng gritted his teeth. He couldn't afford to lose this time, bringing along the star tower, Wu killer wings, and the plunder armor. I'll definitely succeed. Luo Feng gritted his teeth, controlling the star tower to enter the ninth screen. Endless vast dark space. The storm formed by the dazzling blade lights swept everything. When the star tower, which was only 10,000 kilometers wide, appeared, it was immediately struck by the blade storm. It was like a small fishing boat in a surging tsunami. It was instantly sent flying far away when it was struck by the blade storm. Damn! Luo Feng could only feel an incredibly terrifying force engulfing the entire star tower. Rumble, ray after ray of blade light struck the star tower. Every time, there would be hundreds of huge blade lights striking the star tower. The power was so strong that the star tower was like a toy that was sent flying far away. Time and time again, the star tower was sent flying. In front of these attacks, it was simply unable to resist at all. Clash! Clash! Countless blade lights surged violently, sweeping over and over, clashing against the star tower. The star tower was constantly tossed about, almost like a soccer ball being kicked by countless giants. My God! Luo Feng was in the control core room, allowing the star tower to be thrown about randomly. However, he couldn't feel anything from within. Even though he couldn't feel it being thrown about randomly, as the surroundings were all revealed, Luo Feng could easily see that under the blade-like storm attacks, his star tower was pitifully being thrown about, almost like a toy. Obviously, the star tower he controlled had no way of defending against such attacks. Too strong. Too strong. Those blade lights, aren't they too ridiculously strong? Luo Feng couldn't feel it himself. However, he was the master of the star tower. His god energy was infused into every part of the tower. Hence he could clearly feel the attacks. Every blade light, the power of it, far exceeded the strongest attack of the Star River Lord. Hundreds, thousands of times stronger. Every blade light is unbelievably strong. Probably even stronger than the strongest attacks of the universe's strongest, Luo Feng thought. Even though he had never truly fought against the strongest in the universe before, even in the Universe C, the strongest in the universe compared to the Star River Lord level had its limits. And these blade lights, any one of them made Luo Feng feel that the strongest attack of the Star River Lord paled in comparison to these blade lights. Too strong. If I didn't have the Star Tower and barge in alone, I would have been destroyed in an instant, Luo Feng thought. Back when he used the Star Tower shuttle to fight the Star River Lord, he was slightly injured. Every blade light was hundreds, thousands of times stronger. It was normal for him to be destroyed in an instant. Luo Feng's guess was right. Jia Yu's master rode in a top-grade palace treasure. Even the strongest in the universe couldn't destroy it. However, here it was destroyed in an instant. Obviously, the Blade Storm's power had already surpassed the strongest attacks of the universe. Every blade tornado had that kind of power. At every moment, there would be a large amount of blade tornado clashing. No matter how strong Luo Feng's control was, he couldn't control the movement of the Star Pagoda. The Star Pagoda could only be knocked around randomly. Shrink, shrink, shrink. Luo Feng continued to control. Schwa. The Star Tower shrunk rapidly, instantly becoming a speck of dust. The Star Tower itself was 9 light years tall. It could be even bigger. To become a speck of dust, that was already an absolute treasure. And the space within the Star Tower, even if the tower itself shrunk, the space within it wouldn't be affected at all. Actually, it wasn't just a star tower. Normal treasures could do this. Like the ceiling star, it could also be shrunk to the size of a glass ball. However, it couldn't reach the size of a speck of dust. Once it shrunk, plus the blade storms were all incomparably huge. Actually, there was some distance between each blade. This made it so that only one blade storm would occasionally hit the speck of dust. Even if it did, it would at most be one blade storm. It was impossible for two blade storms to hit the star tower at the same time. Just one blade storm, with the power of the star tower itself. I can at least fly without too much influence. Only now did Luo Feng feel that he could completely control the star tower. Before, it was purely flying around randomly like a toy. There was no way to control it at all. Now that it occasionally clashed, the star tower was after all an absolute treasure. Just one attack wouldn't be able to affect its flight. Wings of light. Luo Feng was within the speck of dust like star tower. Looking at the endless storm outside, he could also see the distant glaring wings of light. After which, he immediately controlled the star tower to fly over. Today is Monday. I'm begging for a recommendation vote. If you have a recommendation vote, please support it. Thank you. Asterisk, to be continued. If you like this work, please Kamachidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1199. The speed of the star tower, which was the size of a speck of dust, continued to rise, but the entire space was filled with an endless storm of blades. Every blade of light was extremely large, and there were far too many of them, causing the star tower to be struck from time to time, causing it to fly crookedly, unable to guarantee that it would advance in a straight line. So far, Luo Feng looked at the distant, glaring, huge wings of light. The entire mysterious space probably has a diameter of over 10 light years. From here to the wings of light, there's a distance of a few light years. And this space has been engulfed by the endless blade storm. Space and time have been completely shattered. I can't even teleport. Teleportation required space ripples as a medium. A ripple would suffice. However, those glaring blade lights, every one of them was even more terrifying than the strongest warrior's attack in the universe. And the countless blade lights formed an endless storm, completely shattering space and time into nothingness, leaving no ripples at all. To reach the wings of light, one could only rely on flying. Luckily, it's in the cosmic sea. The highest speed in the cosmic sea far exceeds the limit of the actual universe. Luo Feng thought, in the cosmic sea, the maximum speed is 100 times the speed of light. Because of the blade storm, the star pagoda can't maintain its maximum speed. However, it can still accelerate and decelerate, maintaining about 50 times the speed of light. Flying, so small that it was almost negligible, the star pagoda became a speck of starlight, swiftly flying in the endless blade storm space. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. The star pagoda had already flown over 5 light years, getting very close to the majestic, huge wings of light. So this blade storm is emitted by the wings of light. Luo Feng was shocked as he looked at the outside world from within the star pagoda, only to see that incomparably huge and dazzling wings, constantly emitting endless blade lights. Countless blade lights swept through the mysterious space. Some of the blade storm that touched the wings of light would be absorbed without a sound. Emitting a blade storm, absorbing the blade storm, emitting and absorbing, causing energy to be conserved. Luo Feng thought, it looks like its power is endless. In truth, the energy consumption of the wings is extremely small, powerful, truly powerful. For a treasure to reach such a level, at least it's much stronger than the 5-colored lake I've seen. The 5-colored Aurora Lake was a domain-type supreme treasure, and its offensive capabilities were naturally inferior. Moreover, during the battle between the two-faced ancestral god and the void fiend god, the 5-colored Aurora Lake hadn't been unleashed to its full might. It wasn't because the two-faced ancestral god hadn't fully comprehended it. After all, it wasn't easy to unleash the full might of a supreme treasure. After flying for another 3 days, they were extremely close to the dazzling wings of light. This Luo Feng's expression suddenly changed. Before, his face was filled with shock. This is simply not giant wings of light. No. Looking at it from an extremely far distance, it was indeed a gigantic and incomparably beautiful pair of light wings that were more dazzling than billions of stars. However, when Luo Feng's star pagoda was already extremely close to the huge wings of light, he could clearly see that it wasn't a huge wing of light at all. It was simply countless blade lights stacked on top of each other, forming an extremely huge wing of light. Heavens! Luo Feng looked at everything in front of him in shock. In the distance, countless blade lights stacked on top of each other. At the edge of the huge wings of light, it was the most sparse. Countless blade storms immediately spread out in all directions, sweeping through the entire space. However, the closer the entire wing of light got to the bottom of the core, the more exaggerated the number of blade lights became, even completely stacking on top of each other. Countless blade lights forming a wing of light. Luo Feng exclaimed softly. Then how are these countless blade lights formed? That must be a very terrifying treasure. Luo Feng was getting more excited. Continuing to fly, the star pagoda flew for close to a day. Luo Feng stared at it every moment. He finally saw it clearly. At the core of the entire huge wing of light, there was a white feather at the middle and bottom. That white feather had a ring of vacuum around it. This ring of vacuum naturally resembled the outer appearance of the wing. Outside the vacuum around the white feather was an endless accumulation of blade lights. Those blade lights, forming a few light years of huge wings of light, even the blade storm that engulfed the entire space. The source is this white feather. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. At the same time, the Wu killer wings on his back began to tremble madly, almost as though it was roaring and flying towards the white feather. I have to get it. Luo Feng held his breath. As the distance got closer, the speed of the star pagoda gradually slowed down. 100 million kilometers, 10 million kilometers, 1 million kilometers. It actually looks like this. Luo Feng looked carefully. With his eyesight, he could naturally clearly see that the white wings were about 100 meters tall and were currently unfolded. The reason why it was called white was because the wings themselves had a layer of white light. The wings themselves were mainly made of white material, but they were slightly gray and dirty. Get closer! As he got closer, Luo Feng could see more clearly. That 100 m tall white feather was gray and had traces of blood. 100,000 kilometers. 60,000 kilometers, 30,000 kilometers, scram. An endless willpower suddenly pressed down on Luo Feng, causing him to be stunned. That willpower that pressed down on him was filled with absolute arrogance and madness. Before this willpower, Luo Feng felt like an ant in front of a tiger, trembling. However, Luo Feng maintained his consciousness. Not right. Luo Feng suddenly felt that the willpower that pressed down on him was very weak. Scram! Howls of rage from his willpower assaulted him. However, Luo Feng remained calm. Very empty, very weak. Even though it seems terrifying, even more terrifying than the creator of the huge axe, it feels like a paper tiger. Luo Feng's willpower condensed. Continue forward, slow down. 20,000 kilometers, 15,000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers. Even though that incomparably arrogant willpower roared and attacked time and time again, the initial feeling was terrifying. It wasn't too tiring to actually defend against it. Scram. The willpower that pressed down on him continued to roar. Luo Feng, however, remained calm, not afraid at all. With the star pagoda itself had the ability to protect the soul. Soul attacks could be easily blocked, and material attacks were nothing to fear. As for the willpower pressure, it was actually similar to the killing aura attack back then. The moment he couldn't block it, at most his willpower would temporarily collapse. As long as he swiftly distanced himself, he would recover very quickly. He wouldn't die. The star pagoda's speed gradually slowed. 5,000 kilometers for 1,000 kilometers, 3,000 kilometers, the distance was getting closer. The willpower pressure was getting stronger and stronger, bringing with it an incomparably arrogant feeling, roaring again and again, scram, 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 scram. Otherwise I'll kill you, kill you. If you wanted to kill me, you would have done it long ago. Luo Feng sneered. What's more, I'm within the Star Pagoda. Even if the strongest warrior of the universe personally came, he wouldn't be able to do anything to me. Why would I be afraid of a stupid paper tiger willpower attack? Fighting alone was stupid. Luo Feng wasn't wrong. Just from sensing it, the willpower pressure seemed to be very high level. However, it seemed to only know how to stupidly roar and roar. Just like back when he absorbed the Blood River Crystal, the killing aura attack created many illusions, etc. It was even smarter. This willpower pressure didn't seem to know how to think. It was very stupid. It only knew how to roar, roar and threaten. You bastard. Lowly bastard, scram. Otherwise I'll definitely kill you and rip your soul apart. I'll make you suffer eternally. I'll make you regret it. I'll make you regret it. The willpower pressure was getting crazier and crazier, almost as though Luo Feng's approach was making it crazy. Luo Feng couldn't be bothered with it at all. If this willpower could easily deal with him, or if it had complete confidence, it wouldn't even try to threaten him. What's more, all it did was threaten him. Its intelligence was too low. Probably even the slightly more powerful monsters on Earth back then had higher intelligence. Bastard, bastard. I'll kill you, I'll definitely kill you. You'll regret it. 2,000 kilometers. 1,000 kilometers. The willpower pressure was getting stronger and stronger, causing Luo Feng to feel a strain. This made him tremble within. In terms of willpower, he was definitely at the Universe Lord level. If it were any other Universe Lord attacking him, it wouldn't affect him at all. Probably only the strongest in the universe would be able to make him feel threatened. However, this willpower shouldn't be a strong warrior. Otherwise, its intelligence wouldn't be so low, yet its willpower strength was so terrifying. How strange. Normal willpower pressure. To an absolute warrior, within a certain range, the distance doesn't affect the willpower pressure at all. Luo Feng thought. When two absolute warriors battled, with a distance of 100,000 kilometers, the willpower pressure released was no different from 10,000 kilometers. Don't tell me it's scattered? Luo Feng thought, immediately controlling the direction of the Star Pagoda. It was originally moving in a straight line. However, now, it was moving in a curved line. Even at a distance of 800 kilometers, the impact is the same. That willpower pressure seems to be everywhere. Extremely low intelligence. The willpower pressure can't be focused in one direction. Even though he was filled with suspicion, Luo Feng continued forward. 800 kilometers, 600 kilometers, 400 kilometers, 200 kilometers. The willpower pressure on Luo Feng was getting stronger and stronger. Luo Feng's forehead was dripping with sweat. His eyes were getting more and more fierce and frenzied. So strong. 100 kilometers. Luo Feng continued to persevere and advance. However, it was very slow. The willpower pressure was getting more and more terrifying. If the long-distance pressure was like a paper tiger, then the close-distance pressure was much denser. The pressure was much stronger by who knows how many times. The closer he got, the higher the pressure was. 80 kilometers. Luo Feng's expression was ugly. 60 kilometers. Luo Feng's body was trembling. 50 kilometers. Luo Feng knelt on one knee, his body trembling, gritting his teeth as he watched. It was almost as though he was facing an incredibly terrifying, huge beast's willpower pressure. Luo Feng was shocked as he looked 50 kilometers away at the 100 tall white feather. The white feather was dirty and had 3 bloodstains on it. This was what he had seen before. And at this time, 50 kilometers away, Luo Feng realized that the white feather's incomparably exquisite engravings had 3 glaring marks. They looked like they had been slashed by a weapon and left behind 3 scratches. Those scratches had also directly damaged some of the exquisite carvings. Damaged feather? Luo Feng was stunned. Update complete. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1200. There were 3 scratches on the blood-stained white feather's exquisite engravings. It completely stunned Luo Feng. One had to know that the endless blade storm that covered the entire space. Any one of them was even more terrifying than the strongest warrior's attack. This white feather was without a doubt an absolute treasure. According to common sense, an absolute treasure wouldn't be damaged. Even in the 3 great danger zones, it was the same. Damaged? How could it be damaged? Luo Feng was stunned. Scratches? How did it happen? Was it caused by some incredibly terrifying punk? Or was it caused by some special, dangerous environment in the 3 great danger zones? Many thoughts flashed through Luo Feng's mind. To be able to cause scratches and bloodstains on this absolute treasure wing, there had to be a story behind it. Even though he was shocked, Luo Feng was still calm. Because when he first stepped into the Universe C, he understood some things after understanding some information about it. The Universe C was too mysterious. Like any warrior from the Rebirth era, they could at most live for 3 Rebirth eras, other than the 2 Sacred Lands. The Universe C, till now, no one had been able to find its borders. Large amounts of small universe, including countless destroyed ones, were only that big. Only the 2 Sacred Lands universe was huge. One had to know that the small universe was created by the strongest warrior of the universe, then the 2 beings that left behind the 2 Sacred Lands universe back then. What level of power did they reach? Till now, there was no relevant information. To actually be able to damage such a treasure wing, I guess only the 2 beings that created the 2 Sacred Lands universe without any information can do it. Luo Feng guessed within. Of course, it was just a guess, as there were too many secrets in the Universe C. Even he was confused. Luo Feng looked at the distant white feather, the glaring white feather. Something must have happened to it. However, I can't be bothered. What I need to do now is to get my hands on this supreme treasure. Luo Feng knelt on one knee, his hands already on the ground, resisting the maddening willpower pressure. That willpower high above roared, "Scram! Scram! Otherwise, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Advance." Luo Feng gritted his teeth as he controlled the Star Pagoda. This willpower pressure was terrifying. However, compared to the life and death calamity he went through to acquire the Star Pagoda back then, it was extremely painful. Even though it was extremely painful now, he was still quite a distance away from that state. 45 kilometers. 40 kilometers. This crushing will spread out in all directions. The closer one got to the white wings, the stronger the crushing will. 36 kilometers. 34 kilometers. 32 kilometers. 30 kilometers. 28 kilometers. Luo Feng's entire body was trembling. His eyes were bloodshot and his blood was boiling. The space around him was shaking. His muscles, organs, and bones were all screaming. This made Luo Feng unable to help but make a sound. Ouch! The pain was extreme. Endure. I haven't reached my limit yet. Luo Feng forcefully endured. The distance continued to close. 22 kilometers. 20 kilometers. 18 kilometers. Luo Feng was already feeling waves of dizziness. That terrifying willpower pressuring him almost made him fall asleep. That willpower seemed to let out a sigh of relief. Bastard, damn bastard. Just you, and you want to get close to me? Haha, you won't be able to get close. Trash. Leave quickly, and I'll spare your life. Stop. Luo Feng gritted his teeth. They were trembling. He finally stopped when he was 16 kilometers away. Maybe he was still a bit away from the true limit of life and death, but he was already very close. Luo Feng didn't dare to continue forward. The white wings continued to release countless blades, forming a glaring, huge wing of light. 16 kilometers away from the white wings, the Star Pagoda stopped there. Within the control core, Luo Feng sat cross-legged, closing his eyes and quietly resisting the willpower pressure. As he got used to it, the pressure gradually decreased. After a whole half a year, Luo Feng finally opened his eyes. Under this willpower pressure, my willpower has been tempered. It's also a reward. Luo Feng smiled and looked at the white wings outside. I have to get this wing. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. Immediately, a thread of God energy flew out of the star pagoda. The white wings released light that formed the wings of light. Hence, there were no blade lights in front or behind the wings. The area of 10,000 kilometers was empty. The huge eye-catching wings released a blade storm that engulfed the space. However, the closest area of 10,000 kilometers on both sides of the wings didn't have any blade lights at all. God energy, get close. Luo Feng controlled a thread of God energy to fly towards the white wings. Get lost. The crushing willpower immediately crashed into the God energy. Pung! The God energy dispersed. Every bit of God energy had a life mark and willpower. Naturally, it was easily destroyed. Looks like it won't work. The star pagoda has to grow. Luo Feng controlled. Grow, grow, grow. The star pagoda swiftly grew. The tip of the pagoda approached the white wings. However, the God energy within the pagoda was still being crushed by the terrifying willpower. Even though the pagoda grew, the God energy could only spread through a portion of the pagoda. The tip and the top of the pagoda couldn't absorb the God energy. Hook it. The star pagoda was a 9-level pagoda. The sides of the pagoda could naturally hook onto the wings. As the pagoda grew, it gradually got closer to the white wings. Finally, it touched. The sides of the pagoda were over 100 kilometers long. The white wings were only 100 m long. Theoretically, it should be able to easily hold on. Pong! The moment the tip of the pagoda touched the white wings, it felt like an ant smashing into a huge mountain. It didn't even budge. It can't even budge. Luo Feng didn't believe it. He first controlled the pagoda to retreat and then suddenly accelerated. Smash! Rumble! The tip of the pagoda smashed fiercely into the white wings. The white wings continued to release countless blades that formed the glaring wings. As for the pagoda's attack, it didn't budge at all. Damn this. Luo Feng stared. Back when the star pagoda was in the foreign battlefields, it was an ownerless treasure that couldn't be moved. However, because it was too big, other warriors couldn't move it either. This white wing is so small. It's a 100 m tall wing. My pagoda expanded to a few thousand km, and it still can't budge? Pung, pung, pung. The star pagoda was like a wooden pillar striking an ancient bell. It continuously smashed into the white wings at high speeds. It even retreated and accelerated to tens of times the speed of light. It's really not budging at all? Luo Feng was stunned. What do I do? My God energy can't even get close. I can't even get my hands on the white wings. Luo Feng was worried. There was clearly an extremely powerful treasure 16 kilometers away in mid-air. It was releasing endless power and displaying its power. However, Luo Feng had no way at all. Time passed day by day. Luo Feng was thinking of ways to try. However, he failed again and again. No matter how many times he failed, he wasn't willing to give up. After all, it was an extremely powerful treasure before him. Luo Feng finally understood the helplessness of the 4 pinnacle races back when they fought for the Star Pagoda. In the blink of an eye, 9 days had passed. Trash, Scram. You have no way of getting your hands on it. Scram, don't look for death. The willpower pressure never stopped. Luo Feng was used to the willpower pressure. Suddenly, a formless ripple immediately spread out from the white wings. It entered the Star Pagoda and entered Luo Feng's mind. Human. An ancient voice resounded. Who are you? Luo Feng's eyes gleamed as he sat cross-legged. He could clearly feel that this willpower was different from the willpower pressure from before. I am the spirit of the treasure, the ancient voice said. Luo Feng was shocked. However, it wasn't that shocking. Just like his own treasure, the Star Pagoda, it had a spirit. However, its intelligence was very low. It was like a child that was easily tricked. However, this treasure spirit seemed to have matured quite a bit. I didn't expect that I would still have a part outside. The ancient voice said. You didn't expect. Luo Feng was shocked. I once followed my master through a huge battle. My master fell, and his wings were damaged. The original spirit of the wings was destroyed too. I'm a newly born spirit. I only remember a few scenes of the battle back then. I only remember the enemy's blade. I've forgotten everything else. Ever since I was born, I've been here. The ancient voice said, I originally thought I existed alone. Now, it seems like there are two other pairs of wings. However, from the looks of it, I should be the core. Those two pairs of wings are just parts. Luo Feng was shocked within. Huge battle? The wings were damaged. The original spirit of the wings was destroyed? How do you know your master has fallen? Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. I'm an item without a master. My previous master has naturally fallen. The spirit of the wings said, Human, I've been trapped here for countless years. I want to leave. However, I can't leave. I need your help. Help? Luo Feng asked. How can I help you? My wings originally had 4 bloodstains. The spirit of the wings said, the bloodstains have terrifying power and willpower. I've been suppressing it for countless years. I want to destroy it. After spending countless years, I've only managed to get rid of 1 bloodstain. There are still 3 more bloodstains left. Only by completely suppressing it and getting rid of it can my full power be unleashed. Do you see the scars on my wings? I do. Luo Feng continued. I'm injured. Getting rid of these 3 bloodstains is very difficult. I need some precious treasures and materials. I want to swallow these treasures to repair my body. The spirit of the wings said, right now, I need your help. As long as you give me enough treasures and materials to help me repair my body, I'll be willing to recognize you as my master. However, my requirements are very strict. 1. You must have perfect genes. 2. Your willpower must be strong enough. If you're an undying, your willpower must be comparable to a universe knight. If you're a universe knight, your willpower must be comparable to a universe lord. If you're a universe lord, your willpower must be comparable to the strongest in the universe. It's a pity your willpower is only at the universe lord level. You still need to improve. Luo Feng listened to the spirit of the wing's voice. He was extremely calm. Suddenly, Luo Feng's heart trembled. Not right. It's lying to me, Luo Feng thought. P.S. First chapter's up. The update was a little late. However, the 2 new chapters weren't short. To be continued. If you like this work, you're welcome to come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my biggest motivation. Chapter 1201. Even though the common knowledge of the universe was that there was no danger in owning a treasure, at most it would fail. However, Luo Feng was different from other warriors. He had the history of owning a star pagoda. He was very clear on how dangerous it was to own a star pagoda. If he were to be killed, and another warrior obtained the pearl, if he were to carelessly choose to own it, then the pearl would be enough to kill the other warriors. Hence, when the winged treasure spirit's willpower entered Luo Feng's mind and communicated with him, it made Luo Feng extremely cautious. He didn't want to lose his life to the treasure. Hence, the winged treasure spirit's words were something he constantly pondered over. Owner requirements. 1. Perfect genes. 2. Willpower must be strong enough. He met all of them. He had the perfect genes. He was a universe knight. And he had the universe lord willpower. Let's see what it's up to. Luo Feng thought. A weak ripple emanated and permeated his mind. The 2 continued to communicate. Haha, you said these 2 requirements? Luo Feng was overjoyed, saying, I meet these 2 requirements. My life genetic level is already perfect, and I'm a universe knight. You meet them both? You're actually a universe knight? Aren't you a universe lord? I'm a universe knight. Luo Feng confirmed. Don't lie. If you don't meet the requirements, you won't be able to succeed. The winged spirit said. Wung, wung, wung. The 4 wings behind Luo Feng were madly vibrating. Actually, back in the cave outside, the wings were already struggling intensely. After being in this mysterious space for a few months, the wings had been constantly vibrating. And as they got closer and closer, the vibrations were getting stronger and stronger. Even Luo Feng could only guarantee that the wings wouldn't fly out. I'm not lying. I'm indeed a universe knight. and my life genetic level is perfect. Luo Feng said, I meet the requirements. It's just that I can't even recognize you. Even God energy can't get close to you. You're talking about the crazy willpower that's attacking you? The winged spirit said, that's the crazy willpower of the 3 bloodstains. It's being suppressed and chased away by me. Naturally, it's struggling. Naturally, it doesn't want any other life forms to get close to me. The moment I recognize it, with its help, I'll recover faster. It'll be chased away faster too. Hence, it'll think of ways to stop you. So it's like that, Luo Feng said. As for you recognizing me as your master, it's simple. Although you can't get close to me, I can make one of my core parts fly out of my body. As long as you grab that core component and make it recognize you as its master, then it'll naturally recognize me as its master, the winged spirit said. Luo Feng said excitedly, Right, I can't get close, but as long as your core part leaves your body, I'll definitely be able to grab it. Human, why should I believe you? The winged spirit asked. What? Luo Feng was stunned. I'm damaged and I need to recover. I need some precious treasures and materials to recover. I also hope that my master can help me, the winged spirit said. I said before that if he helps me repair my body, I will recognize him as my master. Now, I need you to show me your sincerity and provide me with precious treasures and materials to help me repair my body. Precious materials? Luo Feng was stunned. At the very least, it has to be a material that can be used to refine a supreme treasure, the winged spirit said. Where would I get these materials? Luo Feng said. Or a supreme treasure. The winged spirit said, I know, you have a supreme treasure on you, like that blade on your back. Luo Feng was hesitant. I need to repair my body. With me here, why would you need that blade? I'm definitely much stronger than it. The winged spirit was slightly angry. This is the time for you to show your sincerity. Give me precious materials. I'll absorb some and naturally give you my core component. Don't tell me you don't even have this bit of sincerity? Now that you've lost a supreme treasure, the more you invest in me, the more you'll value me. In the future, you'll invest even more precious materials for me. The winged spirit said, I have to confirm that you have the determination to help me repair. Otherwise, if you don't help me, the moment you recognize me as your master, I won't be able to regret it. If you can't even do this, I won't be able to trust you. I'll wait for the next warrior to come. I'm the first to come here? Luo Feng suddenly said. No, 2 of them were here before. The winged spirit said. One was a universe lord from a while ago. The moment he entered, his palace was destroyed by my endless winged tornado, killing him. The other one was even earlier, a very, very long time ago when I had just been born and had just begun to think. He was riding a supreme palace treasure, and we chatted for a long time. He was the one who told me a lot about the outside world, about the lords of the universe, and about the paragons of the universe. He was the first life form I saw. My intelligence back then was very low. I wasn't willing to recognize him as an owner. It's a pity. His willpower wasn't enough, unable to recognize me as an owner. However, he often trained his willpower here, and even helped me find materials. Only later on, he lost contact with me. It's been countless eras since he last came here. He's probably fallen. The winged spirit sighed. Luo Feng listened to everything the winged spirit said, carefully thinking about it. That crazy, lofty will continue to attack. It's the wings. It's the wings. It's him. It's very terrifying. It'll kill you. It'll kill you if you don't leave. It'll kill you. It'll kill you. It'll kill you. The roars resounded again and again. Luo Feng was still calm. Give me 1 pinnacle treasure material, or 1 pinnacle treasure. The winged spirit said, to show your sincerity, even if you lose 1 pinnacle treasure with your strength, you probably won't mind too much. You don't even dare to bet on this? The willpower of those 3 god blood traces have scared you. That willpower is afraid I'll chase it away and destroy it. Hence, it'll think of ways to let you leave time and time again. I won't rush you. You decide. The winged spirit was quiet. Luo Feng began to contact his Star Pagoda spirit. Star Pagoda. That white wing just communicated with me. He told me his conditions for recognizing me as an owner. Luo Feng told everything to the Star Pagoda spirit. The spirit's intelligence was very low. However, its working speed was probably even faster than the strongest warriors in the universe. Are there any traps? Luo Feng asked. Master, over the countless years, many sector lords and undyings have entered my pagoda. Even the strongest warriors of the universe have entered before, even though I've gathered a lot of information. A willpower rippled over. This was the Star Pagoda spirit's ripple. However, I don't understand the other absolute treasures. I know very little. The winged spirit said, I can't find any traps. Luo Feng nodded. Silence. The Star Pagoda shrunk to a 100 m high and hovered there, adjacent to the white wing. Actually, hesitation was very normal, as the absolute treasures had a hard time recognizing an owner. This was publicly known. When a warrior wasn't confident, he wouldn't be willing to part with an absolute treasure was normal. To bet or not. To normal warriors, they would bet on it. After all, to be able to stand in front of the white wings, one had to have at least one Apex Palace treasure. Powerhouses with such wealth would usually take out an Apex Palace treasure to bet on an extremely powerful Apex Palace treasure. After all, if they missed this opportunity, there would be no next time. Hence the winged spirit wasn't in a rush, slowly waiting. I'm not in a rush either. I'll use this time to train my willpower. Luo Feng thought. Since it's set up, it won't be able to hold on for long. I want to see what other tricks it has up its sleeves. As long as I don't leave the Star Pagoda, it can't do anything to me. Luo Feng was 99% sure that the winged spirit was lying to him. It thinks it's smart. It doesn't know it's already exposed its tail. Luo Feng thought. I'll wait and see. Luo Feng began to wait quietly. 1 month passed. Luo Feng controlled the Star Pagoda to get closer to the white wing, causing the willpower to crazily press down. This high-level willpower pressure was a rare environment to train one's willpower. Luo Feng challenged the limits of his willpower time and time again, slowly advancing. In the blink of an eye, 6 years had passed. The distance between the Star Pagoda and the white wing had shrunk to 15 kilometers. As the distance shrunk, the Shiwu wings on Luo Feng's back trembled even more intensely. It hadn't stopped trembling all these years. A ripple suddenly emanated from the Shiwu wings. Luo Feng was shocked. His mind was in a mess. The terrifying willpower pressure that he was barely able to resist immediately rumbled and charged, causing Luo Feng to use all his strength to control the Star Pagoda to retreating 20 kilometers away from the white wing in one breath. Only then did he easily block the pressure, regaining his calm. That ripple just now? Luo Feng was shocked. An extremely weak ripple emanated from the Shiwu wings. Shiwu wings? Shiwu wings? Luo Feng revealed a look of shock. His Shiwu wings actually had ripples. Did it have a spirit too? A top special treasure could have a spirit too? No, it should be a part of an extremely powerful treasure. Actually, that white wing was also a part, just much stronger. That white wing could have a spirit so early on. It wasn't like his Shiwu wings couldn't have a spirit too. The only thing was, it hadn't given birth over the countless years. Why did it have a spirit now? He was waiting here, waiting for the white wing's next move. He didn't expect his Shiwu wings to have a spirit. A very weak ripple, almost as though it was hard to even transmit a message. After a long time, a total of 6 days later, it barely managed to transmit the first message. My master, just like a baby, this Shiwu wing spirit had just been born. It was very weak. However, Luo Feng was extremely patient. As time passed, the Shiwu wing spirit grew faster day by day. After another half a year, it was finally able to communicate with Luo Feng. Master, I want to go out. A ripple transmitted over. Go out. Luo Feng asked. Where to? I want to eat the light outside. A weak ripple said, Light, the light of the source. What is the source? Luo Feng asked. The source is within it. The weak ripple said, Shattered memories. Within the shattered memories, there were 6 pairs of wings. 6 pairs of wings. The source is within it. I want to eat the source's light. I want to eat the source's light. Luo Feng's mind rumbled, as though lightning had struck. Wings? 6 pairs of wings? To be continued. If you like this work, please come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1202. Sure Wu's winged spirit had just been born not too long ago, hence the meaning it expressed wasn't clear enough. Luo Feng was extremely patient, spending close to half a day to understand it. Even though this spirit had just been born, it still had some memory fragments. It didn't remember the battle scene, but it remembered how its previous owner looked like back then. The previous owner, according to Sure Wu's description, was a majestic god body, a 2-horned giant with 6 pairs of wings on his back. And Sure Wu's wings were 2 of those 6 pairs. Also, Sure Wu's winged spirit was incomparably sure the 6 pairs of wings didn't differ in strength. Every pair was very important within the entire structure of the treasure. Every pair had its own special function. Without even one, it wouldn't be perfect. Then why is it so strong? Luo Feng asked. Sure Wu's answer was because of his source. The source was the core of the 6 pairs of wings. According to Luo Feng's understanding and communication, the source should be similar to a car's engine, and it had the ability to store energy. The owner of this pair of wings was extremely powerful. Much of his god energy was converted and stored by the source. It was because of the source's existence. That's why the wings were so powerful. If I want to steal it, how? Luo Feng asked. Master, Sure Wu said. How do I do that? Luo Feng asked. Master, imprint your god energy on the wings. Imprint your life energy and you'll be able to have it. Sure Wu said urgently. However, Master, I'm a newly born spirit. The wings too have a spirit. The moment they finally merge, the 2 spirits will definitely clash and kill each other, one swallowing the other. Finally, only one spirit will remain. Master, if it does, you have to help me as long as you help me. I'll be able to eat it. Luo Feng sighed within. After just half a day of communication, the more he spoke, the stronger Sure Wu's ability to communicate. All right, I'll definitely help you. Luo Feng nodded. Sure Wu had always been with him and was newly born. And that white-winged spirit didn't have good intentions. If he had to choose, he would naturally choose Sure Wu. Sure Wu, however, my god energy can't even get close to the wings. What do I do? Luo Feng asked. Recognizing a master is very difficult. Sure Wu was the spirit of a priceless treasure. When he was born, he naturally knew the conditions for him to recognize a master. That's because there's a source in that pair of wings. The source is the core, so the spirit born in the white wings is actually a spirit born with the source as its main body. Our other wings can easily recognize a master, but the white wings can't. The difficulty for it to recognize a master is the same as a complete set of wings. What conditions? Asked Luo Feng. It requires a lot of willpower. A sector lord must have the will of a universe paragon. Undying requires the will of the Lord of the universe. A universe paragon must have the will of the strongest expert in the universe. The Lord of the universe must have a will that surpasses the strongest expert in the universe, said Sure Wu. Luo Feng was shocked and asked, surpassing the strongest in the universe? Do they really exist? Yes, in my fragmented memories, I vaguely remember that there are existences even stronger than the strongest experts in the universe that Master knows of. Sure Wu said, my previous master was one of them. Luo Feng took in a deep breath. Really, it was indeed true. In fact, countless powerhouses in the cosmic sea had some speculations about this, especially the lords of the universe of the 2 sacred grounds. Those lords of the universe were especially proud and claimed that their universe primogenitor far surpassed the strongest powerhouses in the universe. They even claimed that he was stronger than the previously invincible primogenitor. Their mouths were incredibly powerful, claiming that their universe primogenitors were invincible. Claiming how strong their universe primogenitors were, it was just that no one had ever seen them before. However, whether it was the primogenitors or the strongest in the other universes, even the large amounts of broken small universes, they were all just that big. Only the 2 sacred lands, 2 universes were huge, and the 2 sacred lands had existed for who knows how many reincarnations. This made the other close to 100 powers fear the two sacred lands universe primogenitors in their hearts. They all agreed that the two universe primogenitors were very terrifying. It was just that no one had ever seen them before. Endless eras, they had never seen them before, hence they treated them as if they didn't exist. Shi Wu's previous master was actually in existence even stronger than the strongest in the universe. Luo Feng exclaimed, "It's true, so it's true. There's actually an existence stronger than the strongest in the universe. Looks like the two sacred lands, universe primogenitors, probably exceeded that level. Don't tell me, to allow the small universe to exist eternally, one has to surpass the strongest in the universe?" Luo Feng made this deduction. Eternity was very difficult. Countless small universes were destroyed, with only the two sacred lands surviving. One could see how difficult it was. Looks like this involves some secrets of the universe sea, Luo Feng thought. Luo Feng buried all these thoughts within his heart. After all, in the endless universe sea, the strong were as numerous as trees in a forest. With his current strength, he was still far from being able to unravel such secrets. "Shi Wu, you said master recognition?" Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. The requirements are that high. The master is a universe knight. He has to have the willpower of the strongest in the universe. Shi Wu said, "I don't know about the other powerful treasures. I only know that the white feather is like that." After all, they came from the same source. Naturally, he understood it the best. What if he doesn't reach that level of willpower? Luo Feng asked. He won't succeed. However, the most he'll do is fail. There won't be any danger to his life. Shi Wu said directly. Master recognition has nothing to do with one's genetic level. No problem. Shi Wu was very certain. Luo Feng squinted. He had long felt that there was a problem with the white feather. Now that Shi Wu had been born, from the information he had transmitted, the master recognition had nothing to do with one's genetic level. Actually, back when he recognized the Star Pagoda, it didn't involve the genetic level. And that white feather spirit even lied to him. Lied to him that the Universe Knight needed the willpower of the Universe Lord. However, the truth was that the Universe Knight needed the willpower of the strongest in the universe. Shi Wu, Luo Feng said, earlier when I was conversing with that white feather, Luo Feng told Shi Wu everything. It's lying to you, Master. Master, it's lying to you, Master. Your willpower is not enough. Shi Wu said, it's very dangerous. I suspect that the master recognition is fake. It's very likely to kill Master. As long as it uses that wing's light, it'll be enough to kill Master. I understand, Shi Wu. Tell me, how do I get it? Luo Feng asked. When the Master's willpower reaches a certain level, there are two ways. One is to imprint his god energy on the wing. The imprint will naturally spread to every part of the wing. Shi Wu said, the other way is for the white feather to hand over its most important core, the source, and it will fly to the Master. Once the Master imprints his god energy on it, it'll recognize the Master. It has to be the source, the other parts are useless. Luo Feng nodded, he understood. Just like the master recognition of a Star Pagoda, it had to be the pearl infused into the soul. And within the Star Pagoda, for example, a ceiling star to recognize the Master, it was useless against the Star Pagoda. Master, wait first. Slowly wait. If that white feather is anxious, there's a chance as long as it sends a source out, I'll be able to clearly determine whether it's the source. When that time comes, Master will trap the source within the Star Pagoda. Shi Wu said, the Star Pagoda's power is extremely strong. If the source is trapped within, it won't be able to escape. Master can easily wait and train his willpower. Until it reaches a certain level, he'll be able to recognize the source. Shi Wu said. Luo Feng nodded. All right, I'll wait. As time passed, Shi Wu's spirit grew at a visible rate. Its intellect level wasn't high. However, its processing speed was extremely high. Naturally, it was able to transmit information more clearly and clearly. Shi Wu organized his fragmented memories. Combining them with the information from the Universe Sea, he made large amounts of deductions. Another 3 years passed. The white feather sent a ripple towards Luo Feng. Human. The white feather spirit finally contacted Luo Feng. Luo Feng laughed within. It really did find him. You're purposely wasting time with me? The white feather spirit said. You know, I really want to repair my body, and your lifespan is incomparably long. Coincidentally, this is a precious place to train your willpower. Hence you're not anxious at all, right? Right? Luo Feng said directly. You're very direct. However, you're not even willing to take out a top treasure. It really disappoints me. The white feather spirit said. I'm not willing to gamble. If I fail, wouldn't I lose a top treasure? Luo Feng said. A top treasure is still very important to me. I'm much stronger than a top treasure. The white feather spirit said. But you still haven't recognized me as your master. Luo Feng said. Why are you so stubborn that I have to give you a top treasure first? Once you've recognized me as your master, with such a powerful treasure like yours, naturally I'll think of ways to make you even stronger. An absolute warrior only needs a few suitable treasures. There's no expert who has such a treasure like you who would let it go and not increase its power. Silence. Following which, the white feather spirit retreated. Luo Feng closed his eyes, continuing to train his willpower, not anxious at all. In the blink of an eye, another 3 years passed. That ripple once again transmitted over. All right, I admit defeat. The white feather spirit said. Ha ha, relax. Once you've recognized me as your master, I'll definitely think of ways to repair you and increase your power greatly. You're my trump card after all. Luo Feng guaranteed. Wings, for you to recognize me as its master, I'll need your core parts, right? I'll now separate a core part. Grab it, imprint your god energy, and you'll be able to recognize me as your master. The white feather spirit said. I hope you don't disappoint me. I definitely won't disappoint you. Luo Feng said. Hua, a speck of light suddenly flew out from the side of the white feather spirit, following which it was immediately blasted away by the dense number of blades. In an instant, it was blasted 1,000,000 km away, flying far away. Occasionally, it would be slashed by a blade light. In the distant, endless blade storm, that speck of light constantly flew about. Sure Wu, is that the source? Luo Feng asked. No, master, the source is the source of the light. If it flies out, the countless blade lights will follow it. It's the true core of the endless light. Sure Wu said, That's fake. I'm sure there's a hidden light within. The moment it recognizes the master, the blade will immediately attack. The master will definitely die. P.S. Chapter 1 is ended. To be continued. If you like this work, please come Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1203. Luo Feng was shocked as he heard this. Luckily, the spirit of Killer Wu was born. Otherwise, even if he knew the enemy's plan, it would be hard to see through every trap. Human. The ripple came, grabbed my core part. Hua. In the distance, the dot of light that was being sliced by the countless blade lights suddenly felt attracted and swiftly flew towards the white wing. As the distance between the star tower and the white wing was very close, not even 15 kilometers, hence, as the dot of light got closer and closer to the white wing, it got closer and closer to the tower. Grab it, I'll tell you how to recognize it, and imprint your god energy on it. The ripple came. I've grabbed it. Luo Feng was in the star pagoda, but his god energy seeped out of the star pagoda and instantly grabbed onto that light spot. That light spot was a peculiar white pearl. My god energy has already grabbed onto it, but I can't leave a life mark on it. Don't rush. The white wings waved. The stronger the treasure, the more complicated it is for it to recognize its owner. Grab this core part of mine first, and then merge it into your divine body. This made Luo Feng laugh coldly to himself. That core part was fine on the outside, but once it was absorbed into the star pagoda and in front of him, it would probably instantly release the light hidden within it. Absorb it into my body? Before I have a guarantee, I don't dare to do that. Hence I've decided to let my soul slave try it first. Luo Feng said, Soul slave? Your soul slave won't be able to succeed. The white winged spirit said, The owner recognition requires the life and genetic level to be perfect, and the willpower requirement is very high. Undying requires the Universe Knight's willpower. The Universe Knight requires the Universe Lord's willpower. Do you have such a soul slave? No, but I can at least try. At most it'll fail, Luo Feng said. Then go ahead and try. The white-winged spirit said. It waited silently, waiting for Luo Feng to absorb the part into the star tower. As long as the pearl neared Luo Feng, without the tower's obstruction, it would be able to kill him. The star tower first retreating until it was 1,000 kilometers away from the White Wing. Shwa! A black silhouette flew out from the star tower and arrived in mid-air outside. It was the Masha clansman. Under the master's orders, I'll try to recognize the owner. The Masha clansman flew towards the pearl. One had to know that the space tens of thousands of kilometers around the White Wings was silent. There was no blade storm, which was why the Masha clone could exist in such a space. You made a soul slave recognize you as its master in the outside world? The spirit of the White Wings was shocked. If they were in the outside world, they wouldn't be able to attack Luo Feng. At most, they would only be able to kill a soul servant. What, I can't? Asked Luo Feng. The Masha race had already tried to recognize him as its master, but to no avail. There were no signs at all. Only those who meet the conditions will be able to trigger a reaction from the core component. Your servant will not succeed at all, nor will he be able to trigger any reaction, the white-winged spirit said. Why didn't you tell me when I asked my soul slave to check? Wait until you find out that my soul servant has come out, then you will say that. Luo Feng asked. And for a powerful treasure, even if the conditions are difficult, other warriors can still try. At most they will fail. It was impossible for there to be no reaction at all. But when my soul servant tried to recognize me as its master, there was no reaction at all. I dare say this is fake. Take out the real core. Supreme treasures are different. But I dare say you're lying to me. Luo Feng said, take out the true core. That ripple went silent for a while. You will never be able to leave here. You have to have a master. Take out your true core. Luo Feng said, the moment it goes through my servant's experience, I will naturally recognize it as its master. Damn human. Suddenly a mad roar resounded. Tell me, how did you find out? How did you find out? Finally no longer pretending? Luo Feng laughed coldly. You are too smart. Luo Feng laughed coldly. The first time I spoke with you before, you probably already started plotting. First, you used your shattered memories as an excuse, saying that your master's battle caused you to be damaged. First, it shocked me, right? I was very shocked. Such a treasure could actually be damaged. Next, you told me that the conditions to recognize me as its master are very strict, with perfect genes and high willpower requirements. Finally, you made me pay the pinnacle treasure. Ha ha. One trap after another. I'm afraid it's to lower my guard. After all, you've been raising conditions time and time again to stop me. Luo Feng laughed. The strong are mostly despicable. Treasures are easy to obtain. They will suspect. However, if you set a series of harsh conditions, when they break them one by one, they will get even more excited. They won't suspect anymore. How did I suspect myself? The white-feathered spirit asked. You said you needed my help, needed me to provide you with materials to repair your body, urgently needed my help. And then you said the conditions were very strict, and that my willpower is the universe lord. I need to raise it. Luo Feng laughed. These 2 points are completely contradictory. Contradiction? What contradiction? The white-feathered spirit still didn't notice any problems. If I'm really the universe lord, Luo Feng said, with my god energy, that would be 100 times the life force. 100 times the life force, yet you say you want a perfect life force. Ignoring willpower, just this point alone is a harsh hurdle. With such a huge difference, how can I reach a perfect life force? Luo Feng laughed. So desperate. If I was a real universe lord, I'm afraid I'd be very discouraged and have no more motivation to help you. You need my help again, pretending I'm a universe lord. However, the conditions you raised would make a true universe lord very discouraged. He wouldn't be able to pay a huge price to help you. Isn't that contradictory? Luo Feng laughed. And you know, I have an absolute treasure on me. For me to have the fortune to acquire it, how could I be a universe lord with 100 times the life force? Huh. Both are contradictory. That's right. You set up this trap to put yourself in my shoes. If I'm excited, knowing I fulfilled the conditions, naturally I won't notice. But you forgot. If you look at it from your point of view, what you said is very problematic. You've set yourself up as an idiot. Luo Feng laughed coldly. The white feathered spirit was actually a setup. If one was in the middle of it, it would be very hard to notice. It was only because Luo Feng was cautious from the start that he noticed this small flaw. The setup is too complicated. It's actually made me notice it. Stop struggling. Hand over the core. Luo Feng said, You'll eventually have a master. Just you wanted to be my master. You're far from it. To be my master, you'd have to be the pinnacle of the universe. See, if you were to be my master, even after countless years, you wouldn't be able to unleash my power. That would be my humiliation, and also my previous master's humiliation. A roar resounded from within the ripples. What a disappointment. Luo Feng shook his head and sighed. Absorb. Luo Feng ordered. Yes, master. Sure Wu had endured for a long time. Rumble, the originally shrunken star pagoda, had 4 exits. Suddenly 4 wings extended, madly growing. The silver-feathered wings went from the size of a speck of dust, swiftly growing bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, even bigger than a star, instantly reaching over 100 million kilometers. It was almost as though the star pagoda had grown 4 wings. Light, light, the light of the source. Sure Wu was excited. Rumble, within the mysterious space, the majestic and glaring huge wings that were even more dazzling than a trillion stars suddenly trembled. The countless blade lights also began to tremble, almost as though an incomparably majestic skyscraper was trembling and about to collapse. No, the white feathered wings were shocked. Spirit, your wings have spirit too? How is this possible? The countless blade lights at the edge of the huge wings of light seemed to be blown by the wind. They changed direction and flew directly towards the 4 silver wings. The countless blade lights flew like moths to a flame. The entire huge wings of light were also trembling, as if the countless blade lights were about to move. No, no! The white feathered wings tried its best to control. Simultaneously, a ripple was transmitted to Sure Wu's wings. You stop. Why stop? Sure Wu was very simple. This energy is mine, it's mine. The white feathered wings said. We are one. It's yours and it's mine. Even though your damage is more severe, I too am damaged. I too need energy to recover. Relax, I won't take it all. I just want to completely recover from that battle back then. Sure Wu was trying his best to absorb the blade lights. One was trying his best to control. The other was trying his best to absorb. However, the countless blade lights were simply too much. The white feathered wings couldn't control them all. Hua, hua, hua. Countless blade lights flew madly towards the 4 huge silver wings. When they came into contact, it was like water hitting a dry riverbed, completely devoured. The 4 huge wings started to glow, and their aura started to change. And this was only on the surface. The inside of the wings was changing even more violently. Luo Feng, as the owner of Sure Wu's wings, could naturally feel these changes. Wu Slayer's wings were extremely intricate, and it was normal for them to grow to the size of a few light years. The countless tiny components within the wings were rapidly transforming after absorbing the light from the blade, like a decaying piece of wood suddenly turning into a brand new piece of wood. It's too comfortable. Sure Wu was obviously very excited. Master, my fragmented memories are clearer. Luo Feng was curious. I vaguely remember that battle. It was terrifying. That battle immediately caused my wing's treasure to completely disintegrate. That white wing was the uppermost pair of wings. It was immediately damaged. Our other 5 pairs of wings were also damaged internally. After countless years of being tortured by the terrifying environment, they looked fine on the surface, however the insides were damaged internally. Like my wing's treasure, It should be able to recover on its own. However, it requires energy. Master, your god energy isn't strong enough. There's no way to recover. The source light is formed from the previous owner's god energy. It can completely recover the internal damage. Only the severe damage like that white wing would require swallowing other materials to recover. Sherwoo's 4 wings continued to expand. A few hundred million cam, a few billion cam, tens of billions of cam, 1 light year, 2 light years, was madly expanding. The 4 wings got bigger, swallowing more blade lights. Countless blade lights were like moths to a flame, entering the silver wings, never to return. This also caused the energy emitted by Sherwoo's wings to grow stronger. No, it's mine. The white wing was incomparably furious. Stop. P.S. Update complete. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1204. Get bigger. Get bigger. Get bigger. Master, grow even bigger. Sherwoo sent Luo Feng messages. Luo Feng too went all out. The original Sherwoo's wings, countless years ago in an incomparable battle, had 6 pairs of wings split apart, and all of them were secretly damaged. The 6 pair of wings at the top, the white wings, had the energy to support it. Even though it had been floating, at least some of its internal damage had long recovered, leaving only the 3 extremely serious injuries that required it to swallow many precious materials to recover. However, it still had the energy, hence it was able to unleash its power. The other 5 pairs of wings were much worse off. They had long been scattered, drifting to God knows where, and all of them had their internal damage and power greatly reduced. Plus, they didn't have the energy as the core, hence they had been through many dangerous situations, like the 3 great danger zones, which could easily cause the strongest warriors of the universe to fall, or even destroy pinnacle treasures. Even though these wings had survived time and time again, the internal damage had only gotten worse. Until today, when Luo Feng had acquired these 2 pairs of wings, he was finally able to swallow the energy of the energy source and recover. Stop. The white wing shouted with all its might. Get bigger, get bigger. Sherwoo kept rushing Luo Feng. Sherwoo's wings were getting more and more perfect. Growing bigger became easier. The bigger it was, the more blade lights it could absorb at one time. For wings were infinitely tall. They all spanned a few light years. The entire wing was comparable to that huge wing of light. The wing of light had already begun to tremble as though it was about to collapse. Large amounts of blade lights flew towards Sherwoo's wing and entered it. Master, over the countless years, my countless parts have long been damaged. It's already 10% healed. Sherwoo was obviously excited. Only 10%? It's been half a day. Luo Feng was shocked within. Such a powerful treasure was indeed harsh to recover. Luckily, he had the energy source. Otherwise, just relying on himself, at least for a short period of time, his god energy wasn't enough. You thief! You thief! This is my energy, mine! The white wing initially tried to stop him, but eventually started scolding him. Come on, kill me if you have the ability. Do you think I'll be afraid of you? Sherwoo shouted. What's more, the energy belongs to our 6 wings. Is it wrong for me to use some to recover? You want to monopolize it? I am the wing and also the source, the white wing said angrily. Ha! It's just a spirit. It doesn't have any offensive capabilities. I already have a master. Just you wait. I know everything about you. In the future, my master will definitely take you in. Sherwoo was proud. Yeah, dream on. Your master still wants to accept me? Impossible. I will find a master in advance and have my new master kill your human master, then eat you, White Wing said hatefully. The 2 spirits transmitted their energy waves. Although the 2 of them had intelligence, they couldn't be considered as living beings, nor could they fight. Furthermore, they were spirits born from different parts of the same supreme treasure. If one day the slaying Wu Wing and the White Wing really fused, then only one of the 2 spirits would survive. Either one of them would perish. Hence, Sherwoo and the spirit of the White Wings gave it their all. Sherwu was trying to think of a way to help Luo Feng keep the white wings. And the white feathered wings were originally created purely because Luo Feng's conditions weren't good enough. They wanted to kill Luo Feng and devour all the treasures on Luo Feng to repair themselves. Now that Sherwu had been born, the white wing had even less of a chance to help Luo Feng. It was very clear that human would definitely trust the newly born spirit more. You still want to find your master? A universe knight with the universe's strongest willpower can come before you, or a universe lord with an even more terrifying willpower can come before you. Sherwu was extremely proud. Haha, you're destined to die. Even though you know you're going to die, you can't do anything about it. Even if you want to escape, you can't move. Spirits were just that tragic. They couldn't control their treasures to move. I will definitely find a new master and devour you. You will definitely die. You will definitely die. The white-winged spirit seemed to have gone mad. It did not hate the human much, but it hated Sherwu even more. Of the two, only one could survive. Time passed. I've already recovered 30%. Recovered 40%. Master, I've recovered 50%. After a period of time, Sherwu would excitedly inform Luo Feng. In the blink of an eye, about 30 hours had passed. At this time, Sherwu's wing had already recovered 90%. Close to 30 hours, constantly devouring large amounts of blade lights, and it's an existence that surpasses the universe's strongest. Its energy stored through the source. Luo Feng was shocked. This level of energy surpassing the universe's strongest, it was extremely rare. That majestic, huge wing of light, and the silver wings were a few light years apart, facing each other. The huge wings' countless blade lights flew towards the silver wing. At first glance, the huge wings seemed unaffected. However, compared to 30 hours ago, the huge wing had actually shrunk by a size. Its diameter had shrunk by half a light year. One could only imagine how much blade lights it had lost. Damn, I'll definitely eat you. The white wing was already at a loss for words. It could only curse. Come on. Sherwu was extremely proud. Master, I've already completely recovered. Sherwu suddenly transmitted a message. Luo Feng was slightly stunned, after which he was overjoyed. A day and a half. Spending a day and a half, absorbing the high-level blade lights. Every blade light was stronger than the universe's strongest attack, and it took a day and a half to fully recover the two wings. Completely? Your power has recovered too? Luo Feng was filled with anticipation. Right. I'm already completely healed. Wu Yui said hurriedly. Of course, I'm only 2 of the 6 pairs of wings. Master, you can only use 2 secret techniques at most. Of course, these 2 pairs of wings have already reached their peak state. Even if you had all 6 pairs of wings, if you could only use the first and second techniques, it would be the same as Master using them now. Luo Feng was suddenly stunned. Sherwu, you mean I can still unleash at most 2 forms? However, my power has increased greatly? Right, Master, I've expended a lot of energy before. When I used my god energy to unleash the engravings, I had to expend twice the effort for half the result. I could only unleash a little of its power, and now I can unleash 100% of its power. Sherwu said. Luo Feng understood the moment he heard. Just like a machine, when it's old, it only has 10% or 20% of its power left. And when it's at its peak, it's at its peak. Can you still swallow the light? Luo Feng asked. I can't. Sherwu said helplessly. I was injured before. After swallowing it, it automatically absorbed and used up. However, now that I'm completely healed, even if I swallow it, it won't be used up. It will still fly out of my body, because there's no place in my body that can store the light. The source is the only thing that can store the light, and only through the source can one control the light. Sherwu said. Luo Feng sighed within. It's a pity Master couldn't get the white wing to summon the source out. As long as the source came out alone, Master could immediately trap it within the star tower. Without the source, the white wing would have no resistance at all. Master could easily keep the white wing within the star tower. When that time comes, Master can slowly train his willpower. When the time is right, Master will be able to recognize him as Master. Wu said helplessly. Right now, Master has no other choice. Luo Feng nodded. Right? After spending so much time and effort with the White Wing before, even knowing the White Wing had a trap, he still endured. However, the White Wing was very alert and didn't bring out the true source. What do we do? Luo Feng was troubled. There's no choice. We can only leave it here. Wu said, with the source, just like back then when the Star Tower was in the battlefield outside. No one could move it. No one could move this White Wing. Luo Feng nodded. When he used the Star Tower to clash with it earlier, it didn't even shake the White Wing. It's a spirit. It can't control the White Wing to slip away. Wu said, plus, the owner recognition process is very strict. I don't believe that a universe knight with the strongest willpower in the universe can appear in such a short period of time and coincidentally find this and still live to see the White Wing. As for a universe lord, to have willpower that surpasses the strongest in the universe, that's even more unrealistic. Wu was very confident. We can only do this. We'll leave it here for now. Luo Feng nodded. However, I'm not in a rush to leave. Luo Feng smiled within the Star Tower as he looked at the White Wing not too far away. That endless and crazy willpower continued to attack Luo Feng time and time again, never stopping. Such a sacred place to train willpower. It's exactly what I want. Even though there are other places in the cosmic sea, going there will be incomparably dangerous. The 4 silver wings that extended out from the 4 pathways of the Star Tower swiftly shrunk and vanished. The Star Tower became as small as a speck of dust. In this silent space, the White Wing and the Star Tower faced each other, the distance between them shrinking. Human, you will regret this. The White Wing was a little crazy. However, it was after all a spirit. It could only watch as everything happened. Years passed. Luo Feng was doing his best to train his willpower. Amidst the training, he would occasionally stop to study the diagrams and the beast god path, especially with his ocean clone roaming Earth and other planets. Many of the insights he gained from the world made Luo Feng's willpower even more resolute under the terrifying impact. In the blink of an eye, 1,200 years had passed. The 2 White Wings and Star Tower that had been gradually getting closer for a long time finally got close for the first time. The dust-like star pagoda stuck to the white feather. More accurately speaking, this dust-like star pagoda touched one of the bloodstains on the white feather. That bloodstain was at least half a meter in diameter, and a crazy and terrifying aura emanated from it. I finally touched it. Just the willpower and energy within the bloodstain is already so terrifying. Luo Feng, who was sitting crossed-legged, opened his eyes, already seeing the blood stain outside the Star Tower. P.S. First chapter has ended. Tomato will continue writing the second chapter. Not finished yet. If you like this work, please come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1205. This is the strongest attack from the blood on the wings. Luo Feng communicated with the Wu wings on his back. Wu, can my willpower make that White Wing recognize me as its owner? Wu knew best. Wu was after all a part of that treasure. You're still far from it. Master, your willpower has grown a lot these 1,200 years. It's already at the pinnacle of the Universe Lords. However, from Universe Lord to the strongest of the universe, it's a huge leap. And your willpower will experience a qualitative leap too. Master, you're still far from the threshold. Wu said mercilessly. Luo Feng was still calm. After all his gains this time were already huge. Back then in the beast god world over 100 million years, his willpower couldn't even compare to these 1,000 years. One had to admit, the high pressure was indeed a way to train willpower. However, if one stayed under it for a long period of time, it would cause one to crumble and damage the willpower. It was a double-edged sword. Willpower wasn't like origin law comprehension. One had to progress step by step in comprehension. Willpower, however, tested the strength of one's inner heart. I've been here for over 1,000 years. It's time to go. Luo Feng looked deeply at the white wings, after which the star pagoda began to fly. He had to continue training his willpower, and there were too many dangerous places in the universe. See, just the three great danger zones alone. What kind of environment wasn't there? Illusions, willpower attacks, gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder, light, all sorts of natural powers. Basically, there were all sorts. The three great danger zones all had many places to train willpower. It all depended on whether he dared to go or not. Human, I'll make you regret it. I'll make your four wings regret it too. A ripple came through. The next time I come, it'll be the moment I take you in. Luo Feng transmitted his consciousness. Impossible, impossible. Dream on. Wah, the star pagoda had already flown away. Luo Feng no longer cared about the white wings. Just like back then, when countless warriors in the primal universe couldn't do anything to the star pagoda, the current Luo Feng indeed couldn't do anything to the white wings. Even if the strongest of the other universe came, they could only stare blankly and give up. Next time, Luo Feng thought. Sure, Wu's wings have already undergone a complete transformation. I wonder how strong it is now. Luo Feng thought. The energy released by the Wu killer wings when it expanded to its maximum was definitely top quality, even amongst the pinnacle treasures. It was probably on par with the mystical divine wood. This was what Luo Feng felt. Give it a try. Golden Country. Luo Feng immediately ignited his god energy. Completely silent, a hazy and thin golden light appeared in an instant and enveloped the entire mysterious space. It even invaded some of the rock walls at the edge of the mysterious space. The radius of this golden kingdom could reach up to 80 light years, which was far larger than the space within the wing. Naturally, it was able to cover the entire area. However, the endless blade storm was still wreaking havoc, shattering space-time. Even a golden kingdom could not control the space-time here. Only the stable space in front and behind the white wings, as well as some space in the rocks at the edge, were completely under his control. Too powerful, Luo Feng was stunned. In that instant, he felt that the golden kingdom that Shi Wu Yu had cast in his peak, perfect state was comparable to the combination of the miniature universe, the golden kingdom, and the sea of fire. This too, Luo Feng was incomparably surprised. One had to know that his god energy was weaker than many universe lords. For the golden kingdom to be this powerful, it was probably comparable to the mystical divine wood. HM, where's this? Luo Feng was stunned. He couldn't be bothered to be surprised. Instead, he was shocked, because the golden kingdom had enveloped the entire mysterious space, even penetrating into the rocks at the edge. Hence, he was shocked to discover this mysterious space, other than the tunnel that Luo Feng had entered from before, there was actually another tunnel that led in another direction. There's another tunnel? What does it lead to? Right, this white wing can't have been born out of thin air. It should have floated here from somewhere. Many thoughts flashed through Luo Feng's mind. Let's go take a look. Luo Feng immediately made his decision. Firstly, he was worried that the other warriors would discover this tunnel. Secondly, he was curious. Hence, Luo Feng sat on the star pagoda and swiftly flew over. However, after spending over a month, the star pagoda finally reached the tunnel. There's a light screen too. This was a dark red cave passageway. The star pagoda directly passed through the layer of light and entered a dark passageway that was suffused with traces of dark red. The star pagoda continued to fly. After passing through 9 layers of light, there were no more. The star pagoda carefully flew. Dark red tunnel. Luo Feng was within the star pagoda. He let the star pagoda fly through this 1 million kilometers tall, endlessly deep dark red tunnel. He didn't dare take the risk and head out himself. Hence, he let the Masha clansmen give it a try. So, the Masha clansmen exited the star pagoda and flew ahead of it. The Masha clansmen and the star pagoda, the two flew one after the other in the dark red tunnel. Luo Feng also unleashed the Golden Kingdom, maintaining a 10 billion kilometers radius, guarding against any danger. So hot, the Masha clansmen flew within the tunnel. However, He felt the surrounding temperature was so hot, it was unbearable. The walls are dark red. The Masha clansman flashed and flew to the side of the wall. He extended his hand to touch the dark red walls. Chi! A peculiar heat swiftly traveled along the Masha clansman's palm. The Masha clansman's arm was like a melting candle that swiftly fell. This heat swiftly traveled into his body, scaring the Masha clansman violently, sending half of his body flying. After which, the life crystal once again appeared and the energy formed his god body. I'm after all a universe knight's god body. The Masha clansman looked shocked at the walls. The peculiar heat within the walls can burn me. Forward. Luo Feng was curious. The Masha clansman and Star Pagoda, one in front and one behind, maintaining high speeds. Occasionally, he would teleport 1 billion kilometers to 1 billion kilometers. So far, I've already followed this tunnel for a few light years. Luo Feng was shocked. A few light years away, this tunnel would occasionally have forks. Naturally, Luo Feng would choose the largest one and memorize the map. One had to know that the consciousness of an absolute warrior was extremely fast. Memorizing the map was a piece of cake. He continued forward. The wing space should be at the side of the main mountain of Leaning Peak World. And now that I've headed in this direction for a few light years, wouldn't I be inside the mountain? Luo Feng thought. Leaning Peak World, the main mountain was majestic and mysterious. There were many caves that led to the outside world. Often there would be treasures floating through these caves into the water region. Normally, many warriors wouldn't dare head into the cave. It was after all too dangerous. Luo Feng relied on the fact that the Star Pagoda was a palace-level treasure. Plus, he was curious about the origin of the White Wings. Hence, he followed the cave and headed in. After a long while, there were many forks in the tunnel. Luo Feng simply chose the largest one and proceeded forward. As he proceeded, the temperature got higher and higher. Even a Masha clansman was kept, because the temperature outside was already high enough to burn the Masha clansman into ashes in the air. Legend has it that the Leaning Peak World region is filled with danger. Even the primal Chaos City leader and others can fall. The core region, even the strongest warriors of the universe can fall. Luo Feng was shocked within. Even the outside temperature can burn a knight to death. The inside of the mountain is indeed terrifying. The Star Pagoda, it could block physical attacks and protect the soul, both physical and soul defense. Only then did Luo Feng dare to take the risk. Just what is at the end of this cave? Luo Feng thought. After flying for over 30 light years, they finally saw the end of the Star Tower. At that moment, the Star Tower had already flown to a vast and huge place that looked like a flaming karst cave. Rumble, streams of white, flaming lava rumbled and rolled. Hundreds of flaming lava flows intersected with each other, passing through this huge, flaming karst cave and extending to an unknown end. The lava flows were surrounded by red, green, and gray halos. And there were also endless flames that filled the surrounding space. The surrounding space was strangely congealed. There was no sign of it breaking, and there was no space ripple at all. In here, there was no way to teleport. Luo Feng tried to send a thread of god energy out of the Star Pagoda, but it didn't even touch the flames. Just the surrounding space was instantly destroyed. If a universe lord doesn't have armor to protect him, he'll be destroyed in the surrounding space. Luo Feng muttered, I came from a mysterious space cave and entered here. I wonder if this is the inner region of the Leaning Peak World, or the core region. With a thought, the Star Tower slowly flew forward and came into contact with a wisp of flame in the surroundings. Chi! The flames burned the Star Pagoda. Within the Star Pagoda, the temperature didn't change at all. Absolute treasures are indeed absolute treasures. Luo Feng complimented. This was within his expectations. After all, according to common sense, the absolute treasures in the 3 great danger zones wouldn't be damaged. Even though he saw the white wings that were damaged before, that was also caused by an incomparable battle. What a huge cave! Luo Feng didn't dare follow the lava flows. After all, If he continued to head into unknown areas, it would be hard to turn back. Luo Feng sat in the Star Pagoda and flew within the flame cave. The Star Pagoda didn't even enter the lava flows. Occasionally, the lava would splash out and touch the Star Pagoda, but it was fine. To be able to withstand such flames and lava flows without any damage to the stone pillars, it's very special. Luo Feng carefully observed. He discovered that the many stone pillars seemed very normal. However, upon closer inspection, it was almost as though every grain of sand could reflect light, almost as though there were many spaces within. Shwa, the Star Pagoda, suddenly vanished before one of the stone pillars and immediately appeared in the outside world. Space. Every grain of sand has a space within. Luo Feng was shocked too. Before, the Star Pagoda had only touched the grain of sand before entering the space within. That empty space, Luo Feng had after all comprehended the space laws. He easily exited the Star Pagoda very quickly. Every stone pillar is probably made up of countless grains of sand, and every grain has a space? Were these stone pillars? Why haven't I seen such information before? Don't tell me this place is an extremely dangerous place in the Leaning Peak world, and no warrior from my human race has ever come here? Luo Feng was suspicious. The human race didn't have any records of these stone pillars. Very quickly, Luo Feng's attention was attracted by another stone pillar not too far away. That is P.S. Update complete, to be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1206. There was another stone pillar not far away. At first glance, it looked the same as all the other stone pillars. However, upon closer inspection, there was a faint claw print on the surface of the stone pillar. The claw print was equivalent to the size of an ordinary earthling's palm. There were 4 fingers that were deeply engraved on the stone pillar. Claw mark? Who left this mark? Even a normal Lord of the Universe wearing a supreme treasure armor would be incinerated by this stream of lava. Who came here? Luo Feng was suspicious within. The entrance to the Peak World's main mountain was at the broken section, and Luo Feng had entered the mountain from the mysterious space within the water region. From the position, he should be below the Peak World's main mountain, from top to bottom, and the deeper he went into the Peak World, hence the region he was in was definitely not a normal region. Even a human race didn't have any records of this stone pillar. The ones that came here are definitely not normal warriors. They could very well be the strongest in the universe. Luo Feng thought. The Star Pagoda flew to the stone pillar's claw mark. It was the size of sesame seed and was carefully inspecting the claw mark. The center of the claw mark. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. The stone pillar was made of countless grains of sand. The claw mark naturally affected large amounts of it. Even though the countless grains of sand were incredibly beautiful and reflected space, the center of the claw mark emanated energy, an extraordinary energy. Let's go in and take a look. The Star Pagoda gently touched the sand. Shwa. His entire body was sucked into the space contained within the gravel. Within the sand space, the temperature was obviously much lower. It was about the temperature of a star's core, at least compared to the outside world's temperature that could burn a universe Lord's God energy. It was much better. Shwa. The Masha clansman appeared in mid-air, and the Star Pagoda landed on its shoulder. This space. The Masha clansman surveyed its surroundings. With a glance, the vast space was deathly silent. Other than the endless rocks that formed the mountain ranges and land, there was nothing special about it. Luo Feng had entered the sand space once before. It was also deathly silent. There was nothing special about it. This sand is obviously different. I don't believe there's nothing special about it. Golden country. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. Boundless, hazy, golden light instantly descended upon the gravel space. The rocky ground and mountains in the space were not that special. The rocks in the Leaning Peak realm were very special. Firstly, they were extremely hard. Even if you destroyed a few rocks with great effort, the damaged parts would reform and grow back. Secondly, It was extremely difficult for divine power and domains to penetrate it. The rocky mountains in the gravel space are nothing special. They're just normal rocks. There's really something special about this gravel space. The Masha clan's clone revealed a look of joy. Shwa. With a single step, he traversed tens of thousands of kilometers and arrived on a mountain. There was a smooth rock wall on the mountain, and there was a strange ripple on the rock wall. There were two items on the ground in front of the rock wall. One of them was a green pendant with strange beast carvings on it. The other was an incredibly beautiful silk cloth. It was black and gold, and it gave off waves of aura that made the Masha clan clone feel extremely comfortable. These two items, the Masha clone was overjoyed. After all, he had the human race database to rely on. There were very few items he couldn't recognize. At least he could recognize the two items before him. It's actually one of the three great danger zones, the Universe Boat token. Luo Feng looked at the green beast carving. It said that with this token, one would have special privileges within the Universe Boat. The danger level would be much lower, and there's even a specialized training space. The Universe Boat was an incomparably huge damaged ship. A damaged ship, how could it be one of the three great danger zones? Firstly, the Universe Boat was ridiculously huge. The entire ship spanned over 100 million light years, and it could even swallow the endless chaos energy. This caused the surroundings of the Universe Boat to be filled with dangerous environments. Within the Universe Boat was even more dangerous. It had appeared here countless eras ago. Even before the birth of the two sacred lands, the Universe Boat had been here. No one knew the origin of the Universe Boat, and the Universe Boat loved to swallow small universe. A few damaged small universe were often attracted by it and swallowed. Because of this, it was known as the Universe Boat. This was a damaged super spaceship with endless power, but it was filled with endless dangers and endless treasures. Danger, enough to make even the strongest of a universe fall. Treasures, enough to make anyone in the universe go crazy. And the token was a special item within the Universe Boat. As long as one carried it, even if one didn't dare say all the dangerous areas were safe, at least some of them wouldn't be considered dangerous. Moreover, each token corresponded to a huge secret room, and each secret room was an independent space. Silk Picture. Luo Feng looked at the other item. The first item was the Universe Boat token. The second item was the Silk Picture. The Yuan mysterious lord back then took out a silk picture, causing everyone to go crazy and fight over it. Silk was a very precious material. It was used to create illusion-type treasures. It naturally had a calming effect. Luo Feng only got a few pieces back then. It was too small. And this silk picture before him was even larger than the complete picture the Yuan mysterious lord took out back then. The energy it emitted made the Masha clone feel extremely comfortable. To be able to extravagantly use silk to make such a large piece of cloth. Luo Feng thought, how extravagant. Probably only the strongest of the universe can do this. The Masha clone extended his hand and grabbed at the silk picture. A strand of divine power seeped into the strings painting. His consciousness also entered the strings painting. Instantly, he felt as though he had entered a virtual space. Within this virtual space, it was a virtual, huge Universe Boat. A red silk thread pierced through a part of the Universe Boat. Every part's danger was completely simulated. It also described how to avoid the danger and how to pass through the dangerous areas. This is a part of the map of the Universe Boat. The Masha clone immediately retracted his god energy. He immediately understood and was overjoyed. The three great danger zones were about the same. Pinnacle World, Universe Boat, Floam Mountain, these were all places that could produce powerful treasures. The pinnacle treasures were even more common. Of course, along with the treasures came terrifying environments. A detailed map was incomparably precious. This map, it wasn't any weaker than the one the Yuan mysterious lord took out. In terms of value, it wasn't any weaker than a god would. And Luo Feng had it all. Rumble. A ripple suddenly emanated from the wall ahead. Luo Feng, who had just picked up the green token, looked up. An image began to appear on the wall ahead. Two silhouettes began to appear. Those two silhouettes. One was an incomparably beautiful lady covered in endless green leaves. Looking at her was like looking at the most abundant life force in the universe. It made Luo Feng feel extremely comfortable. The other silhouette was dressed in a gray robe. He looked almost like a piece of deadwood. His head was like a crystal. He had no hair, no ears or nose, only 3 eyes and a mouth. "I, Jeff Fanzi," the gray-robed silhouette said. "I, Lin," the beautiful lady surrounded in countless green leaves said too. The gray-robed silhouette continued. "When you pick up the 2 items I left behind, you'll be able to see this image. It's just that I don't know, when you see this image, which era it is from." The gray-robed silhouette's mouth was moving. Simultaneously, there was a peculiar ripple. Even though it wasn't a language Luo Feng knew, the ripple reached Luo Feng's mind, and he naturally understood it. At a certain level, there was no need for language at all. Just the willpower ripple would allow one to understand the other. Which era? Luo Feng was shocked within. These 2 punks, the human database had already told Luo Feng about the terrifying beings of the 3 great universe eras and the 2 sacred lands. However, there were obviously no such beings. Jie Fanzi and Lin, he had never even heard of them. Obviously, they weren't beings from these 3 universe eras. I'm the strongest warrior in the solo world. Before the final battle, I didn't want to waste my inheritance and countless efforts. Hence, during the journey to the next era, I left the universe boat token and map here. The gray-robed silhouette said, "That token represents an independent space within the universe boat. Other than bringing the treasure with me to the next era, I left everything else there. I only hope that the later generations will be able to bring out the light I left behind. If possible, I'll pass down the many techniques I've created. This isn't a request. I can't ask for it either," the gray-robed silhouette said. Luo Feng's heartbeat sped up. Damn, the green token for the silk picture and universe boat. So it was just a key. A solitary universe's strongest expert would carry the most powerful treasure with him and leave everything else behind? The wealth of a universe's strongest warrior was terrifying. Just like the creator of the huge axe, how much did he contribute to humanity? Just like the lone traveler, he didn't care about the treasure at all. Just like the creator of the dark universe. Back then he said he wanted the god wood and was willing to use the treasure to compensate everyone. To the solo universe strongest warriors, some of the treasures were useless. Junior. Another ripple filled with life force rippled over. The beautiful lady spoke. "I, Lin, have left my inheritance too. As for the token and map, they're about 300 light years away. If you're strong enough, you can search around. Whether or not you can find it will depend on your luck. Don't listen to her. This is already the core area of the pinnacle world. There are dangers everywhere. Even the strongest warriors in the universe can fall. Even though some of the strongest warriors who attempt the next era will leave their tokens around, finding them depends on luck. It's too dangerous to search around." The gray-robed silhouette said, "I've already lived for close to 3 reincarnation eras. My time is almost up. I can only gamble and attempt the next era. If I can pass it, I'll be able to exist for eternity and build a sacred land universe. Right now, in the cosmic sea, there's only one sacred land universe." The lady surrounded by green leaves said, "I want 2 sacred land universes to appear in the cosmic sea. Ha, Lin, let's go. Let's go." The gray-robed silhouette and the green leaf lady's silhouette flashed and vanished, following which the images also gradually faded. Luo Feng stood in front of the wall, stunned for a long time. P.S. Chapter 1 has ended. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1207. After passing the reincarnation, one can exist eternally? Luo Feng muttered softly. This so-called reincarnation was probably one of the great secrets of the cosmic sea. However, it's still very far from me. 3 universe reincarnation eras. How long have I lived? Luo Feng suppressed all these thoughts within his heart. Through the Golden Country, he didn't discover anything special about this space. And so, Luo Feng sat on the Star Tower and left this space. First, he explored the lava cave for a long time, but he didn't have that kind of luck again. Also, from the message left by an unknown expert from the reincarnation era, GF Fanzi and Jinlin, it was clear that the lava cave region was already the core area. In such an area, even the strongest experts of the universe could fall. I was lucky enough to be able to discover some of GF Fanzi's remains. This core area isn't a place I can barge into right now. If I'm not careful, my Star Tower will be stuck somewhere and I won't be able to come out forever. By then, it'll be too late for regrets. Luo Feng immediately turned around and started to return along the tunnel from before. It was a relaxing journey. Luo Feng sat in the Star Pagoda and quickly returned to the wing space. Following that, he didn't even bother with the white winged spirits cursing and cursing. Flying for another 2 months, passing through the entire wing space. Only then did he finally return to the cave from before. After reaching the water region, Luo Feng didn't have any thoughts of searching for treasures. He immediately began his journey back to the primal universe. A month later, the primeval universe, the human domain, Earth. In one of the cities of the Asian continent, a black-haired young man in casual clothes was sitting in the corner of a casual restaurant. There was a pot of tea and a teacup in front of him, and he was drinking by himself. The investment in the Moya galaxy this time was made by joining hands with the local tyrant of that galaxy in hopes of making things more convenient. Giving him 10% of the shares was a huge mistake. The local tyrant of this galaxy, he's too greedy, often try to earn money from there. He really thinks that just because he's far away from our Ganwu universe country, we can't do anything to him. It would be too easy to toy with him to death. If it wasn't for the fact that this was a test given to me by the family, and that every move I made was in the family's assessment, I would have killed him long ago through the higher-ups. I'm still so close. I'm still so close to becoming an area lord. That was easy. In order to give birth on Earth, I bribed 3 habitable planets. All sorts of conversations were taking place in the dining room. Luo Feng couldn't help but laugh when he heard this. Those who could live on Earth were all from large families, elites, etc. Just from listening to these small conversations in a restaurant, one could come to this conclusion. Feng, a voice rang out. Luo Feng looked up. A seemingly humble middle-aged man walked over, smiled towards Luo Feng, and sat across from him. Wei Wen. Luo Feng smiled. They can't hear us? Wei Wenlian looked around. Even if we speak and converse, they won't remember us. Luo Feng said directly. Awesome. Wei Wen gave a thumbs up. Don't you know who I am? Luo Feng laughed. You're awesome, said Wei Wen. Who doesn't know how awesome you are? Why did you choose this place? Wei Wen asked. Listen more and see more. Living on Earth, they are all elites of the human bloodline. From their conversations, we can feel the situation of the entire human bloodline. Luo Feng said. Wei Wen nodded. Wei Wen, why are you still Domain Lord level 9? With the resources I've given you, it should be easy for you to train to Undying. Luo Feng said. Wei Wen and he were brothers who grew up together. Their relationship was deep, just like his and Luo Hua's. Back when he was the supervisor envoy of the Ganwu department, Wei Wen was already a star level, after which he quickly stepped into the universe level. In terms of resources, Luo Feng gave his parents, wife, and brother Luo Hua a large amount, at least ensuring they could all reach Undying. As for his sons Luo Ping and Luo Hai, their demands were much harsher. As for his grandchildren and countless other disciples of the Luo family, they had to rely on themselves. There was no such thing as unlimited resources. Just like the brothers Luo Feng made on Earth back then, even though their relationship was close, it was limited. Isn't it still early? Domain lords can live for 1,000,000 years. I'm still early. All right. I'll train to sector lord later. Wei Wen said. That's right. Even though his position was constantly rising, he had never put on airs with his brother Luo Feng, as he had always treated him as an equal. Hence, even though Wei Wen knew Luo Feng's position was extremely high, as he was used to making friends. Plus, Luo Feng was like a normal person in front of him. He could still chat casually. Drinking tea and chatting with Wei Wan, they waited till the sky turned dark before separating. Walking on the streets, Luo Feng's thoughts were all over the place. I have 3 things right now. First, I have to keep the white wings. However, I have to train my willpower, reaching the universe's strongest willpower to do that. The 3 great danger zones all have places to train willpower. The second is the treasure left behind by Jeff Fanzi. Jeff Fanzi. Jeff Fanzi, I know you're strong. It's one thing for you to leave the map and the keepsake in the core area of the Leaning Peak world, but you even left the treasure in the depths of the spaceship. Aren't you torturing me? Third is Teacher Mountain Passenger. From the broken white wings, the distant reincarnation era, Jeff Fanzi, and Jin Lin entering the reincarnation cycle. All these show that even the universe's strongest have their own worries. Teacher Mountain Passenger still spent so much effort to nurture his disciple under such circumstances, even giving him a treasure. I don't believe he didn't have a plan. Luo Feng thought. Mountain Passenger's plan? Luo Feng remembered it. Even though he respected and trusted Mountain Passenger, he still had to be vigilant. He didn't want to be betrayed and still count the money for him. Teacher Mountain Passenger's matter is still far away. No matter what, the stronger I am, the more methods I have to deal with difficult situations. Luo Feng thought, right now I have to increase my strength. Keep the white wings. And the white wings are already damaged. I need to swallow large amounts of precious materials to recover. The treasure left behind by Jeff Fanzi is perfect to use to recover the white wings. Luo Feng's plan was good. However, obviously the white wings and Jeff Fanzi's treasure weren't easy to get. The place where Jeff Fanzi's item was placed was actually very dangerous. It was in the core area of the Qing Phone world. Luckily, Luo Feng's luck was good. Riding the Star Pagoda and traveling upstream, he coincidentally found the treasure. However, to get the treasure in the universe boat, there was no such shortcut. There was a map. He had to explore it himself. Since that's the case, I'll train my willpower in the universe boat. Luo Feng thought, before I move, I have to gather more information about the universe boat. That's one of the 3 great danger zones. Heading deeper in, even the primal Chaos City leader teacher could fall. I can't be reckless. The treasure left behind by Jeff Fanzi wasn't actually for any disciple. It was obviously for a warrior of the same level. Because the location, whether it was the core area of the Qing Phone world or the depths of a universe boat, even with the primal Chaos City leader's ability, he didn't have a guarantee of entering. Reincarnation. Looks like there's reincarnation in the depths of the Qing Phone world. Maybe many of the strongest warriors of the universe left their treasures, or those who failed in the reincarnation left their treasures in the depths. Luo Feng guessed. The core area probably had many treasures left behind by the strongest warriors of the universe. However, he didn't dare to recklessly search. Luo Feng began to gather information about the universe boat. In the vast universe sea, within the inner region of the Qing Phone world Lord Mountain, there were 2 silhouettes in space where the cold winds howled. Primal Chaos City leader, today you have to fight, even if you don't want to. The golden armored figure had 3 faces and 8 arms. Each of the 8 arms held a divine hammer, and each hammer was of different sizes. Moreover, it used a secret technique that caused the image of a massive hammer to appear behind the golden armored figure. Technique illusion. The golden-robed primal Chaos City leader looked from afar. You're from the Purple Moon Sacred Land. I've never seen you before, and I've never heard of your information. It should be your first time leaving the Sacred Land universe. Don't tell me you're choosing me as your opponent in your training battles. Universe C2 Sacred Land Universe. The smaller one was called the Purple Moon Sacred Land. Indeed, the primal Chaos City leader, right? My training battles are choosing you as my opponent. The golden armored warrior had 3 faces and 8 arms. He had a savage face, a kind face, and a cold face. At this time, the savage face was facing the primal Chaos City leader. If I have to choose, I'll choose the strong. I don't want to choose those weak universe lords. Tough. Make your move. The primal chaos city leader said. All right, I want to see just how powerful the famous primal chaos city leader of our sacred land universe is. The golden armored warrior immediately became nothing and began his attack. Rumble, like a huge wheel slowly rolling, the 8 hammers, big and small, all turned into blurry phantoms and merged with the huge hammer phantoms behind the golden armored powerhouse. The phantoms solidified and turned into an incomparably huge hammer. The divine hammer flew slowly, crushing every inch of space and annihilating every inch of it. The first is the strongest technique. The primal chaos city leader shook his head. Primal chaos, open. The primal chaos city leader welcomed it with a palm. The palm swiftly expanded, becoming a huge golden glowing palm. Within it a universe was born. The primal chaos split. Metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder, light, and many other energies were born. Palm. The huge golden palm directly smashed against the huge hammer that seemed like it could destroy the world. Rumble. The huge divine hammers collapsed and turned into a golden armored expert. The golden armored expert with 3 faces and 8 arms grabbed the 8 divine hammers and threw them far away. They collided with a whistling cold wind in the distance and froze him, following which there was a pung sound as the ice shattered. The golden armored warrior came out from within and shouted, "Amazing, amazing," as expected of the city leader. No wonder the ancestor said that he had the highest chance of becoming the strongest in the universe. Your palm, finger, fist, just one palm and I lost. I was too arrogant. Rumble. A beam of light flashed. The warrior had left. The next most likely to become the strongest in the universe. The primal chaos city leader muttered to himself, shaking his head and sighing. The 2 sacred lands universe's universe primal ancestor. No one in the 3 reincarnation eras has seen him before. That purple moon, universe primal ancestor actually said that about me, causing all the universe lords from the purple moon's sacred land to frequently find me for training battles. It was too common. The primal chaos city leader often met people from the 2 sacred lands looking for him. In terms of body, he was far from being as strong as the Star River Lord. His body could only be considered average in size, unable to compare to the heavenly special life forms. However, in terms of battle strength, the primal chaos city leader was publicly acknowledged to be strong, and he was considered to have a high chance of becoming the strongest in the universe. Primal chaos, primal chaos. I've been extremely lucky, coincidentally acquired an ultimate treasure called Huge Axe. It's already recognized me as its owner. Tell me about the other universe lords. This is a joyous occasion for our human race. At this time, the creator of Huge Axe in the virtual universe sent a message to the primal chaos city leader. Ultimate treasure? Did Great Axe obtain a supreme treasure? The primal chaos city leader was extremely excited. This was a grand occasion for the entire human race. He couldn't care less. He immediately told the other universe lords about it. Very quickly, Luo Feng, Darkness Lord, Void Gold Lord, and the others all received the news. They were all shocked and excited. P.S. 2 chapters completed. Tomorrow is Saturday. The latest update has some readers unhappy. Tomato will use tomorrow's rest day to sort out the plot. Seeing the dissatisfaction with Luo Feng's discovery of the treasure in the review section, thinking he was too lucky, I explained, in truth, there were too many strongest warriors in the universe, with batches and batches of them falling. There were many of them, hence it was normal to find a few treasures. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation.